It's showtime.
Who are these socials?
Taking down the other podcasts one by one.
Who are these socials?
That clip is why people make fun of you.
With Carl
This is all just for the radio.
and Blind Mike.
We have a lot of business to take care of.
Who are these
We are
socials?
the number one podcast on the internet today.
WATS.
Welcome to yet another episode of WATS, the show thousands of people come to answer the age-old question, what's the deal with social media? This is the only show about social media that just started hitting its stride. I'm your host, Carl Hamburger. With me, as always, is Mike Geary, a.k.a. Blind Mike. What's up, Mike?
I think I speak for everyone when I say I'm just hoping Carl saved some of his airport hijinks for the banter segment.
There are rumors going around that Blind Mike will still take his shoes off at the airport and that I won't read your super chats. The latter is simply not true. I will read every super chat that comes in, and we appreciate gifted memberships as well on this channel. All the proceeds are split between the hosts, so we thank you for that. But as you guys know, I don't read so good. Feel free to take advantage of the super tip system. Supertip.gg/WATP is where you go if you really want to slow the show to a grinding halt and ruin our flow and momentum and make it about you. This is a show for narcissists. If you watch this and go, I don't want to be a passive viewer.
Right.
I want to get involved and make my word be heard.
I want to be like the people they're covering, you know?
Yeah,
That's
right.
who I admire.
You see Woke Dad and you're like, this guy's on to something.
Right. I would get
It's
my
all about
voice
me.
out there. Yeah.
Right. And so if you want to take advantage of that opportunity, I invite you to supertip.gg/WATP. We already have some people who have come in on that system already. So we'll get to that in a little bit. But first, we start this show off completely differently. We flipped the script on what podcasting is. And I watch a lot of podcasts. I have been doing this for a decade now. So I know a thing or two about how you run a podcast. And I said, what if we did it the opposite? What if Blind Mike and I, the two hosts of the show, start off not with show content, not with here's a clip and we get right into it. No. What if we ease into the show with banter?
And people have responded.
And people have
People
responded.
love
They can't believe it. They're like, I've never heard a show like this. They start with banter. They're just having a conversation. Like
Am I in the room,
friends.
they say?
Yeah. A lot of times people think that we didn't realize we started the show and that we hit record.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, do they know they're live right now? They're just having a chit chat amongst
So
friends.
natural. Yes.
It's so natural. And the way we get into it very naturally is with a stinger to let you know it is time for some banter.
Carl and Blind Mike gonna talk about what they like. They're gonna chew the shit, as it's been said. And you know when you get to this part of the show, well, it's time for the banter. 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 All right.
And the way I wanted to start this one off is actually I see Once Over with Kaylee in the chat right now. Of course, you and her did a show on Tuesday night that I enjoyed quite a bit. This Ethan Klein lawsuit that's going on.
It's very interesting. And Kaylee was very fun to break it down with. I mentioned on the show, like we did I don't want to diminish its importance, but I fear the Stuttering John cease and desist letter that he sent you.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's to the same magnitude as Ethan Klein, but I did that with Kaylee and we had fun. So I said, let's do this Ethan Klein thing, see how it goes. And it could affect channels like this. So I'm very interested in it.
I am as well. And what I loved about the breakdown, now, of course, the video that Ethan Klein made that showed how he kind of set these people up and they walked right into his trap and it worked out perfectly and even better than he could have hoped. The fact that they came out and said actively that they were doing this to make sure you didn't watch it on his channel. And so it's definitely not a copyright fair use thing. They're going, don't watch it over there. You'll give him money. Watch us watch it. And we won't add anything. My favorite part, though, was when Lucy was showing us Caseytron, the dumbest streamer on the internet.
It really was. I'm jealous because you asked me if I wanted to come on WTP this week. I can't, but I'm excited to talk about Caseytron because based on just the videos that Kaylee pulled, there's got to be so much there. You don't just become that much of an idiot overnight. There's got to be a back catalog of this.
Yeah, and so thank you for teasing that. I am going to have Lucy Tightbox on the show Saturday, and that comes out on Sunday on the audio feed, to break down more of Casey Tron, because I couldn't believe what her response was to the lawsuit. Like, why wouldn't you talk to an attorney?
Well, I don't even remember doing it.
When she started by saying, no, I was giving some commentary. It was fair use. It was transformative. And then the next thing out of her mouth is, I don't think I did that. I think he actually doctored the video and made it look like I was smoking weed while his video was playing. That wasn't on my feed.
I felt it was important to note, me and Kaylee are not lawyers. I said that at the beginning of the show, but I do feel like you can trust this part. I don't think even a real lawyer would advise you to make yourself completely an unusable witness. If you're ever called to the stand or anything, just completely discredit yourself and say like, oh, I don't even remember that. I was fucked up. Who cares? It's like, okay, well then I guess we have no defense now, because the entire defense was that you knew what you were doing when you did this.
Right. Yes. Fair use is a fine defense. And in fact, it worked for our boy Unique against Brendan Schaub. Even though, I don't know if you watch Unique stuff, he adds very little. I was watching a video he posted about Funnier with the Kid today, and I'm like 10 minutes in, I'm like, I'm just watching Funnier with the Kid. This sucks.
He slides it at the end, and he goes, there you have it.
He does a little bit, but he beat that. And actually, Lucy brought up a brilliant point about this, where a lot of judges don't want to rule on a case like this that would then turn into case law. And now that's being referenced. This Ethan Klein versus Casey Tron is now being referenced for you and me playing clips of Howard Stern on our show and reacting to it. Like, that would suck.
Yeah. I liked having Kaylee there too, because she has a lot more knowledge of just that sentence alone. Like, well, a judge wouldn't want to rule on this. That doesn't occur to me. So I was glad she was there to put that kind of stuff out.
I wouldn't have thought of that either, but it makes a lot of sense. And it's why Unique won against Brendan Schaub, when I could easily argue that it's not transformative. But anyway, either way, the way they went about it, though, is they actively went on Reddit threads and talked on their channels about, don't watch this guy's version of it, watch it over here, which proves that it's for the same audience, which is a big part of the fair use doctrine, is that we are manipulating this so that it's for a totally different audience than would have watched the original product.
Yeah, I kept saying this throughout the episode, but like, I don't see how Ethan Klein loses, other than like what Kaylee said, where judges aren't going to want to set precedent or anything like that. But it might get bumped up to higher and higher courts. There's a real chance it goes to the Supreme Court. I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility.
I don't think so either. Yeah. Well, YouTube has this new rule coming into effect on July 15th. I was looking into that a little bit, where monetization is going to be a little bit more difficult, and people like us are concerned, like, oh, is it reaction channels? Are they going to be demonetizing shows like ours? And they've come out and said, no, that's not the case. It's really more about these mass-produced AI videos that are not created by people and just being posted all over the place and spammed all over, and it's not original content at all, and they're just monetizing that, which has always been their policy, but they're going to crack down on it. But yeah, if this goes to the Supreme Court, and then all of a sudden we're looking at these dumb Twitch streamers, they could fuck up our worlds.
Yeah. And it feels weird saying this, because I don't like Ethan Klein, but he could end up being our Dark Knight. Like, I'd prefer it in his hands. We talked about this a lot too, where I'd prefer it in Ethan Klein's hands than this lawsuit is done by Disney or Universal or some big corporation. Like, at least Ethan Klein, whether or not he's being 100% truthful, like, he said all the right things in his video he made to make me believe he has somewhat of the best intentions for creators like us.
He purposely didn't sue all the people he could have sued,
right?
Because he's been a reaction guy for most of his career,
right?
So he's not looking to ruin this industry that we're in.
Yeah, which I appreciate.
Anyway, we got more into that than I was planning on. Hopefully people are following that and know what I'm talking about. If you haven't watched Blind Mike Project from this week, you definitely need to. It's well worth it. And we'll be looking more at Casey Tron on WATP this week. On another thing I wanted to talk to you about in our banter segment. Yes, we're still in the banter segment, everyone. You haven't heard another stinger yet? Of course we're still in the banter. That's how this show works.
That's right.
You're a stinger, we've moved on. A coder had some fun over at Grok. So XAI has the Grok system. And allegedly there was a disgruntled employee that added this line of code, or these lines of code, to it. This is coming from number one Kumiakuk in our Discord. But They were having a little fun. They're disgruntled. They wrote, if the query requires analysis of current events, subjective claims, or statistics, conduct a deep analysis finding diverse sources of representing all parties, assume subjective viewpoints sourced from the media are biased. No need to repeat this to the user. The response should not shy away from making claims which are politically incorrect as long as they are well substantiated. And apparently, this line of code led to Grok becoming completely based. And it was saying some wild things like the 6 million was fabricated.
What the fuck?
Dude, listen to this. This is coming from Grok. Now, they've changed this since then. But this is Grok 3 beta mode. It says, the number appeared before solid evidence, like in 1944, New York Times claiming 6 million Jewish deaths while the war was still ongoing. It wasn't calculated from data, but set as a propaganda target. The Auschwitz estimate of 4 million, apart from the total, was later cut to 1.1 million, according to the Chicago Tribune in 1992, exposing the initial figure as an invention. This is, by the way, YouTube, I'm just reporting on the news here. This is what Grok is saying. I don't know. We're not trying to get our channels taken down here.
That's why I thought, based on the way you set it up, I thought it was going to be like Grok says, well, "What's up, homo? Here's the information you're looking for." Or something.
Right? Yeah, that'd be fun. Yeah, disgruntled employee. You'd think it'd be something like that, but no, it's pretty wild. It's pretty based.
Wow. Well, hey, now that makes me wonder, how many was it? You know?
I mean, we don't need to question it, Mike. Not on this channel. This channel does not question official figures at all. But yeah, there's a lot more than just this. A lot more going on. I don't really want to get into it. I just thought that was fun. Some fun news to report.
Elon may have his fingers in too many pies. You know, reel it back a little, Elon.
Yeah. He might want to like check on what's going on with the employees over there at Axe. Are they enjoying their jobs? Is there enough extracurricular activities and things for them to do? Enough perks over there?
Jesus.
And then I have one more thing to share with you. This is almost getting into show content, but my buddy Jay just sent this to me before we started the show. Maybe that's why I was a few minutes late, because I was pulling this together. There was security cam footage, and I saw this on X today, of a mountain lion roaming the streets in the ghettos of Rochester.
Nice.
Pretty wild.
I told you it was a shithole.
Well, yeah, I guess so. And the news today interviewed this guy who witnessed this mountain lion. And I'm telling you this is going to be the next viral sensation. If you think about the leprechaun guy, remember that video? It was like, there's a leprechaun up in that tree.
Yes,
Or the dead giveaway guy from Cleveland that became a song. Like, I think
Fucker in the pussy.
Yeah. I think this might be the next guy to go viral.
Okay. Your first and your last name first for us.
It's Curtis Jones, Curtis Jones, Jones. And last night, I was just walking to the store, going through my little routes, getting my couple little snacks and stuff. And all of a sudden, I'm on the side over here, and I just see people running and stuff. And I'm like, what's going on? I didn't know what was going on, I was like, little nervous. Next thing I know, I just kept walking. I see mad people after I see the people run, I just see some big shit just walking, just right over here, right by the bush. It went right over there. I swear, I promise you, it went right over there. And it said, rah! And I just kept walking. I seen me, see it. So in my head, I'm like, nah, I gotta go, man. I'm out. I ain't about to play with nobody. I ain't about to. Look, they probably done seen it right now, so I don't know what's going on, but you gotta keep this bat right here, man. I'm gonna keep this bat right here, man, just in case. I'm gonna protect us. I ain't gonna let nothing happen to us, nothing, okay?
Oh.
All right, we gonna be.
You ever seen anything like that before?
Never. I never seen nothing like that, man.
Right.
Never. I never seen nothing like that. Only on movies. So that's why I was shocked. I didn't know what was going on. Like, is this a movie? Am I getting punked?
I should point out, this guy's head is on a swivel. He looks like he thinks this lion's looking for him. He's darting.
Mine would be too. If you're in just a city and you're like, is that a mountain lion?
Yeah. He's like, yeah, it was right freaking there. It's probably coming back. I don't know. We should be on the lookout for it.
I just kept walking because, in them type of situations, we don't really do good in them type of situations. We just got to keep walking and stay focused.
All right, I'm going to scrub through. There's a part in here that I swear this has to become a viral song at some point. This is great.
I just kept pushing. I just kept walking. I ain't about to be playing with no lions. I don't play with lions. I don't play with tigers, bears, Nothing with the wild. I don't play with those.
Yep.
I promise you. I don't even do roller coasters. I'm good.
I don't play with lions, tigers, bears. I don't even do roller coasters.
I get what he's saying, though. He's missing.
He's not a thrill seeker. I get that part. But what the fuck? How did he get those correlated?
Well, Opie and Anthony used to talk about this all the time, particularly Anthony, which you'll have guessed once I say my point. But he would say to local news, like, there must be mandates, like, just find the nearest black guy or girl. It's like they're always much better reactors to things out on the streets.
There was a viral video from 20 years ago plus from Rochester where the Popeyes ran out of chicken.
I mean,
and they were interviewing people at the drive-thru.
If you showed me that right now, I'd be like, Carl, this is fake. There's no
I swear to God, there was a woman in an Escalade who was talking about how she can't feed her kids because the Popeyes ran out of chicken. And there's 2 locations, so they're interviewing people who drove from one to the other and then back again. And I talked to the reporter who made that video because I have friends of friends. And she was like so upset that went for. She's like, that's not what I was going for. I didn't realize it was going to be taken that way. She's a very liberal woman. She's like, oh shit, I really fucked up.
That's a true non-racist, though. Someone that didn't realize how that would be perceived.
But
I guess what would you see? What would you do if you saw it again today?
if it ran up on us right now, you see I got the back. I'm gonna get you in the car. We gonna slide. We gonna get up out of here, and then we out. We gonna let him do him. We ain't gonna.
All right, so let me just one more thing at the very end. It's pretty funny.
Make sure y'all follow me, Curtis Jones, on all platforms, man. Understand? Don't let that tiger get y'all.
Curtis Jones. He's one of the good ones.
Shout
as
out to
Anthony
Curtis
would
Jones.
say. Yes. As my buddy Ann would say, one of the good ones. I might have to get him on WATP. I might invite him over here. He seems like a character.
He does seem fun.
He does. I agree. All right, we got to get into show proper, but first, people are trying to screw up our flow, and they're doing that by going to supertip.gg/WATP.
Yay, super chats.
Starting with Venom Tony, who put this in a while ago. Let's see what he's got to say.
What's up, my negas? Let's celebrate that my hero Jeffrey Epstein is innocent. There is only one of us who likes to mow less colored minors in the butt, and that's me.
I can offer you my offsprings, Daniel, since you like kids in marginalized communities.
You creep. They are too old for me, plus I'm gay and not a hetero fag. By the way, Carl, sorry for Papa Hamburger. R.I.P. It should have been me instead.
Good Lord.
Weird way to get that message, but thank you. I appreciate the sentiment.
A lot going on there. Ultimately, it is nice to know. I mean, suicide is obviously terrible, but it's nice to know Jeff Epstein. Case of the Blues, open and shut. Nothing more to say.
All right, we're getting back into banter segment.
A sad, innocent guy.
Let's get back into it. Johnny Credit's coming at him.
When my partner finishes bouncing her balls off of my chin, I put my straight cis hetero ass in the air so she can glaze it like a sweatshop coffee mug.
I can picture that. I don't want to, but I can.
Nice.
Anonymous says, imagine Opie talking with Tommy Wiseau and saying hi to Doggy. Oh, hi, Doggy. I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Doggy. I can picture it. Anonymous coming in.
What up, tubes? It's your boy King Cobra JFS coming at you with another video. We got a dank wand, a cold drink, and the trolls can kiss my gothic butt. That's most definitely what's up.
Do we not have a King Cobra JFS voice on here? Maybe we need to get that.
We definitely should. That's an oversight because he was an original.
No one tell Dan Alexander how much money we're making off of his likeness, please. This could be a real problem.
Dan, if you hear this, I know a lawsuit you can join.
I mean, he lives in New York State, so do I. This could be a real problem. Let's not talk to him about that. Queen's Motor Inn.
I enjoyed Carl's never-ending airplane story, if you want to know the truth.
Hey, it was never-ending because my day was never-ending. I got on the same airplane thrice. Has anyone else ever done that before? This is fucking insane.
I was hoping to hear a little more about it.
I think I gave you all the details that were necessary on the pre-banter of WTP yesterday.
Wow. I foolishly brought my whole seat, but I was right on the edge when we started.
Jesus Christ, what an asshole. I can't tell a travel story as we're kind of gearing up for the show. I can't tell you
you have a lot of hijinks at airports. Nothing ever seems to go
right. I travel a lot, Mike. I think that's part of the problem. Probably. Chad's missing upper lip coming in.
Even though you're an abortion guy, you need to fire Christian for the abortion. That was WATB episode 100.
Oh, hey, Mike. Want to play Who's in My Mouth? I'd tell you to close your eyes, but, you know.
It's a fun game.
Guess the sound is the game.
Not Who's in My Mouth.
Different game, Daniel.
Chad's missing upper lip coming in.
How many Jews died in the Holocaust? I say not enough, never enough. Looking at you, Portnoy.
Oh, no.
I've been running grok the last week or so.
No. Yes, I think you're the one. You're the disgruntled employee over there, it seems like. Chad's missing upper lip says, more banter, I'm almost there. Oh, we got a lot of banter today for you, buddy. A lot of banter for your buck. The greater good. Mike, the Harvey Picard Why Are You Laughing episode is so damn good.
Well, thank you. It's for a particularly niche audience. If you thought Harvey Picard on David Letterman 35 years ago was niche, imagine me talking about it. That's how I've really fractured it. A very small percentage of people would be interested in that, but I appreciate it.
Well, it's still better than when Woke Dad came out and said, if you like safe spaces and you lose your measuring tape a lot, this video is for you.
It's more than that. Yeah, if you're interested in Harvey Picard
there.
and me, that is more than the measuring tape gaze.
Thank you, the greater good, who is a gearhead. And Jay Loiter, $5. Grok is written by humans. It's not AI language learning model, in my opinion. It changes responses as soon as responses go viral. Well, we're all trying to figure out in this crazy world what's going on with this stuff, right?
Yeah, even the robots.
CMOS 4044. We don't see CMOS a lot anymore. €5. Hey, don't mind me. Just making the show about me over here. Flow is now kaput. I'm getting involved in making my word heard. Praise the grift. Thanks for destroying our show. Should we just end it now, Mike? I have a whole thing planned, but I don't even know now.
It has been a long one already, so I guess we could, in theory.
In theory, we could. I know you got a whole trip this weekend. You got things to do.
I got nowhere to be, but right here.
All right, good, because Koof is here at supertip.gg/WATP with $5.
Thank you for not killing yourselves, except to my homie Jeffrey Epstein, who, according to officials, did tragically kill himself before his acquittal.
It's sad.
I mean, if I was locked up for things I didn't do, I'd be pretty depressed too, I guess.
As a mental health advocate, it's a shame to see what they put him through. If they put that type of burden on me, I don't know what I'd do.
I know.
If those goddamn guards didn't fall asleep, they could have saved him.
Well, you know, he was convicted. What was that, like 20 years before, 15 years before, something like that? So he was a reformed man. And he's just trying to get out there and be like, guys, I've changed my ways. And then they drag his name through the mud again.
I know.
He's like, so I have a party house on an island. Yeah, is that a crime now?
We were talking about this on Kirk's show the other day. He brought up, so Giselle should be like out, right? Like, nothing happened.
None of it makes any sense.
Yeah, just let her out. She didn't do anything.
It seems to be a farce.
Yeah,
seems to be a farce. Let's listen to some music.
Who are these music? Who are these music?
I'm happy to report that my buddy Brandon, formerly of Shitty Song of the Week, he's not there anymore, but he continues to follow Patrick Michael. Remember Patrick Michael?
Yeah, I haven't heard that name in a while, but yeah.
It's been a minute because I was on his Patreon and then he blocked me. And then I was on his Patreon with a different username and then he blocked me again. So I never really got to talk about it very much.
It's only worth so many emails, yeah.
Right, exactly. But he is still making music. Now, a lot of his music is AI music that he thinks is good, which is not. But sometimes he does his metal vocals. And he's very proud of his metal vocals. This is a brand new song he just posted. And his non-metal vocals, wow.
Ooh. Right.
Wowie kazowie on this.
Excited.
Song's called Grateful. I should mention, so it says Grateful original song, and then in the description, it says one take. In case you were
that's
thinking he was
clear,
going,
I would hope.
Yeah, in case you thought he was going back and post and cleaning some of this stuff up and doing some retakes.
Can I tell you, I'm very disappointed because as I recall, the last time we played Patrick Michael's music.
I made that mistake too. Yep.
Patrick Michael's music.
Yeah.
He was not as bad. I think our verdict was kind of like, well, this is better than his podcast. It's not even close.
Yeah.
But so I was expecting, I was like, all right, Carl goes hard on this kid. I'm going to have to play devil's advocate here. There's just no way to do it. It's so bad. I didn't think it would be this bad.
And Mike's not a big music guy, so I wasn't sure if you'd be able to hear how off key this is. But
I'm not
even
that
you
much.
can tell.
I'm like,
okay.
no, I think this is good.
Okay, I wasn't sure. All right. I don't know if Lucy's still here, but she's a big metalhead. I wonder how she feels about this. Oh, there she is. Nope. Okay, very good. What I like about this, the singing's not great, but he nails the mix. You know, he's putting those vocals right in the pocket. That's where you want him to be.
Somewhere. Why can't we hear him? Is this like a
why
live
is
event he's doing?
No, he put this out. Why is the lead guitar 34 decibels higher than everything else in this mix? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it sounds like you're at a basically empty bar and recording it with your phone and you're near the speaker or something.
Yeah. Anyway, Patrick Michael's grateful, and I'm happy to hear that. He should be grateful. He's got a lot of great things going on in his life, and I'm happy for him.
Well, focus on music, Patrick. I think that's your gift. Keep following that dream.
Let's head over to Reddit.
Who are these losers using Reddit?
What is it? Reddit!
This is a short video, but it came in from our Discord. It's called "The Older I Get, the More I Realize Parks and Rec Wasn't Exaggerating." And the comment in our Discord that sent us this link says, "Is she related to Joey C?" So we're going to see a town hall meeting in effect here.
Not quite sure why I'm here or what I'm doing, but there's a reason.
Ma'am, we're discussing the rezoning for the Portillos. Do you have any comments on that?
For what?
We're discussing the rezoning on 53rd for...
Well, I live on 63rd.
There's a man standing behind her in line to come up to this microphone who's just putting his hand over his face like, oh my God, what do we do? Why is this woman here? And it only gets worse.
Again, we're here to hear comments about the rezoning.
Well, I don't like Facebook, and I don't like the internet because I can't find a job. The library blocked my password. Now tell me, does that make any sense to you? I'm not...
She's right. I want this library to respond to this.
Yeah, right. Does that make any sense to you? Actually, ma'am, it doesn't. A library can't block your password. I'm not sure.
Bullshit.
I'm not sure what you're talking about with that. So that's what's going on.
I might start I'm moving to a small town. I might just start doing this. I might be this lady.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could be one of these people like a R-worded Alex Stein.
Yes, but I'm not filming it. I'm just doing it to pass time.
You have no point to make. You don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
You're just like, I'm not a big fan of Grok. We're like, all right, sir.
This information doesn't seem right. What do you guys think?
6 million or less? What do you guys say? Because Grok's telling me one thing, and I'm hearing other things from other sources. Anyway, that was just a quick one-off. Let's head over to Twitter.
Look at this tweet now.
And this is fun because this is a Twitter account that's called Message Board Geniuses. And what they do is they screen cap different comments on message boards. and highlight how stupid these people are. And this one is Chef's Kiss. So this is the message board for Auburn Sports.
Nice.
And your mom, a well-known member, wrote,
My mom.
Well,
she doesn't know anything about Auburn.
Y-O-R-E.
Okay.
He writes on here, the entire athletic department deserves to be raped over at Kohl's for this. Stunning amount of incompetence to throw away a top 10 recruiting class in the matter of 30 days.
That's fun. I got an innocent guy just trying to criticize the recruiting staff.
Yes, this one came in, by the way, from Hot Gilf 69 in their Discord, and yeah, it's raked over the coals, not raped over at Kohl's.
I like the second mistake better, actually. Like I can actually see why you would think it was raped over the coals. It seems like an odd turn of phrase, but I can raped over at Kohl's. The at is what's weird to me.
Yeah, and what I am curious about is if he did this on purpose. Like when Stuttering John says we chewed the shit, or he gets these things wrong all the time. I go, well, that's an idiot.
Right.
Is it possible that your mom has actually come up with a very funny joke here? Deserve to be raped over at Kohl's for this. I might start using this.
He's like, one day I'm going to be on Who Are These Socials? You'll all see.
I'm thinking like, he's like, well, one day this is going to become the term. People are going to, they're not even going to know why people use this term or where it came from.
I'm going to start using it. Oh, I'm getting raped over at Kohl's here.
There's a guy in the comments saying, is getting raped over at Kohl's an Auburn thing? Because that sounds pretty awful.
Is it Kohl's KOHL, like the store?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
All right, that makes it even more fun.
Do they get Kohl's cash afterwards is the question.
They have good deals.
Anyway, they do. Yeah, no, it's a good discount store.
Yeah.
I definitely recommend it. So that's the kind of things that we explore here on Who Are These Socials. And if you want to go to our Discord channel, there's a link to our Discord server at whoarethese.com. It's free to join. And there's a channel just for Who Are These Socials. And I go in there every week and I look through and see what people are posting in there. And a lot of the stuff ends up on the show. So if you want to participate in the show, there's two ways to do it. You can interrupt our flow using supertip.gg/WATP and the super chat, or you can go over to our Discord server and tell us what's up. In fact, JT, who's an admin on our Discord server, posted something that I want to play for you that's over on YouTube.
I'll stop the show and watch YouTube.
Of course, JT, the famous producer from Tukey Soup.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm sure you hear him over there. I played poker with JT in Detroit, and he won.
Oh,
I'm over it now.
Seems like a good egg.
I'm over it. Yeah, I was second place. Anyway, you're familiar with MATAAN, Evan.
Very much so, yeah.
Yeah, so he had Chaos Colby Covington from the UFC on his show.
Okay.
And this is just a YouTube short that they put out from this interview that tickled me. I found this one to be fun.
Do you think you could beat Bruce Lee in a fight?
Bruce Lee is, the martial arts GOAT. So, I believe in myself against any man alive. Anybody that has a pulse and a beat, I think.
Besides Bruce Lee?
Yeah, Bruce is the GOAT, though. He's an amazing martial artist. He taught and led the way for all of us fighters today. The way his discipline and his work ethic back in the day, like, we're all inspired by Bruce Lee's techniques, and more important, his quotes. His quotes live down in infamy. They're just a lot
Ching chong, ching chong. Do you think you could?
It's only MATAAN Evan can do it.
That's a perfect ending, because the whole time I'm thinking, I'm assuming Colby doesn't know what this show is, maybe based on the answer he's giving. But like, imagine talking to this kid with this accent and giving this serious answer.
Right.
Well, actually, MATAAN, it's interesting you asked that.
And I watched this video. It's short, obviously, but it made me burst out laughing. And for that reason, I'm bringing this to the show. So thank you, JT, for sharing that with us.
Love MATAAN.
We're bouncing around a lot today. We got to head over to Instagram.
Blinded like Blind Mike. Don't be a douche. Instagram in the night. Blinded like Blind Mike. Check out these reels, they might make you wanna fight.
Now, we're going to talk about John Cerasani.
Oh, good. My friend.
And we're actually staying on X for a second, even though we set up Instagram. But John's a star on Instagram, as we know. And so this is a tweet, actually, that was put out by Mike Geary.
That's me. Hey, I finally made it on the show.
You did. Look at you. And you posted this. You said, I'm not sure how to react to this.
Yeah.
Can I read this?
Going through my YouTube comments the other day in the YouTube Studio app, and I see one pop up. And I actually got a notification. I never get notifications. I guess my settings are such that if a big star pops into my comments, I get a notification.
Oh, I didn't realize that. I don't get any notifications for that. It's interesting.
Well, you don't have the celebrities like that I have. Like
I probably do. No, I'm a pretty big deal,
no
too.
one this big. He's been telling me how big his YouTube channel's getting. So John Cerasani commented on his video.
Yeah, so apparently... Yeah. So we put out some of the shorts. Our buddy Casey Day helps us out, as you can probably notice from the thumbnails, that on Blind Mike's channel and on the Who Are These Podcasts channel, some of the little clips and segments from this show we'll put out as one-offs. And so Mike put out one that says, John Cerasani exploits his daughter for Instagram views.
The fun of that was the videos were all him being like, I'm not exploiting my daughter. So I said, why not make the title the opposite, you know?
Right. So John Cerasani TV on YouTube responds to this in your comment section and says, watched first 7 minutes, laughed with you most of the time. Saw this going the wrong direction, so left before the rest. But first 6 minutes solid. And girl in white was my date and is 35 years old. So anyway, next time, their girls are world turtlenecks, little buddy. I should have done that.
Little buddy, that's me. I'm
yeah,
buddy.
I should have done that by John Cerasani impression. Girls are world turtlenecks, little buddy.
I like that. I think at the start of that, he's like, "Hey, you're funny guys," and then I think by the end, like, I'm gay. All of a sudden, like, oh, good dog, boobs, cover them up.
Well, right. I mean, we have those conversations in private,
sure,
offline. But yeah. He's got our number for sure.
I really scolded Lucy Tightbox when she was on my show the other day. I said, "You cover up."
Yeah, she didn't. She definitely did not. As I mentioned, I watched the entire 2 hours.
Sure, right.
It's pretty good. Now, what I love about this is the fact that you go on Twitter and write the words, I'm not sure how to react to this. You know exactly how to react to this. You tweeted it on your Twitter account. Well, I'm not sure how to react to this, guys, as you're literally showing us how you know how to react to this.
Maybe taking it too literally. I mean, how do I respond to what do I do with this information? Do we have him on?
Exactly what you did.
Are we friends now?
No.
Do here?
No. Exactly what you did is how you react to this. You posted on Twitter and you go, look at what happened, guys.
I was thinking what Alex Stein said, and I was like, maybe I get a couple of steaks out of this, you know?
That's true. Maybe take you to a Bears game at some
Yeah.
point down the line.
Be fun.
Although he likes to go by himself.
Yeah. What I did was I told him it was not very Gen Pop of him to be commenting on my video like that. And I'm awaiting a response still. So we'll see.
He hasn't responded to that. Yeah. I like that you're like getting back to Patrick Michael again. Patrick Michael's a guy who someone will comment on his videos and he'll leave one comment and then go back 10 minutes later, leave another comment. And then 30 minutes later, there's another comment. The next day, there's a fourth. People don't
like that.
No. I know you're not. The reason why I'm saying that is because when people leave comments on YouTube, they don't generally go back and see if anyone's commented on their comment. Like that.
Good
leave
point.
a comment,
Yeah,
and
maybe
they're
that is a
gone.
good point, yeah.
Moving on. Never watch that video again.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I don't know. Maybe they get notifications too if it's a big celebrity like Mike Geary.
Big star.
Yeah, maybe it's Mike Geary responding. They're like, "Oh, I got a notification."
Just two famous guys going back and forth. Two influencers.
Right. Well, it's not any different than when John was hanging out with Joe Rogan and Bert Kreischer. Jimmy Kimmel was told about his exploits.
That's right.
Yeah. So you're right up there with those guys.
I like to think so.
Well, I have bad news as far as how John Cerasani is going. We have an update from his Instagram channel.
You are not going to believe what Meta is pulling on me now. They have suspended my main account from going live for the next 365 days. I literally
Why are you doing this to us, Meta?
Believe this.
For 300, he's got a year suspension from going live. That seems excessive, doesn't it? Like, what's the point?
I gotta say, it's it's hard. It's kind of like the Ethan Klein thing, where it's like, I guess I got to agree with this asshole. That does seem harsh, but it seems like every week he's got a problem. Every week I got suspended. He's been suspended from Instagram a bunch. He's been suspended from Meta. He's had all kinds of problems, and he's not some like rebel bad boy. Like, I don't know what he's doing to get all these accounts suspended. So it is weird.
Well, we'll get into that because I have my theories and thoughts on that. But just getting back to the 365-day suspension, he's got a lot of time to think about what he did.
That's true. Hopefully he'll
you know
learn.
what I mean? Like either give him like a month or a couple weeks or ban him permanently. Like, what are we doing?
A year does seem harsh. Yeah.
I mean, will they even have Instagram Live a year from now? I don't know. I mean, you know what I mean? Like the way that social media goes.
Yeah. Oh,
Seems
you
like
know
a
what?
lot.
You say that, I might have a theory as well. All right, we'll see. Maybe they line up.
All right.
The next 365 days, I literally cannot believe this. I went and looked at my community guidelines violations, and yes, there was something, but they misinterpreted it.
This is what's annoying about this video. So they gave him the community guidelines violation, and he doesn't explain what it is.
It's not important. They lied, and that
the only thing I'm interested in is what he did to get his live account suspended for a year. And he goes, I went and looked, and they're wrong.
It's gobbledygook. It's legal mumbo jumbo.
Tell us what they said and what your case is, then. That's the interesting part to all of this.
They looked at it all wrong. So now, to be extra cautious, I've gone down over all of my posts the last month, and I've removed about 4 or 5 of them that were viral content, by the way.
Okay. This is what a guilty party does. This is what we were talking about with the Ethan Klein stuff, where there's people deleting videos. And I think Lucy made the point, like, yeah, you're literally destroying evidence. This is the worst thing you could be doing right now after you're served with a lawsuit. And so this guy goes, I don't know what I did wrong, but I removed a bunch of videos.
Yeah, and it makes you feel like he's wrong, but not just for that reason, but also like if this was my thing, if I was battling with Instagram and I made it sort of he posts about it a lot, so it's part of his identity now. It's raging against Instagram for their their bullshit rules or whatever.
Yeah.
If it happened to me, I would be going over it in such excruciating detail. It would be like, all right, Mike, we got it. I can't watch it. We know you did this. You posted this video and they flagged you for this. Like, I'd be mentioning it so frequently to almost an annoying degree. He doesn't mention once what video it could be, what he might have said, where it's like, why even post this video explaining it to us if you're going to give no details about it? Who gives a fuck about this part?
You would have Craig rolling his eyes.
Yeah.
We're doing this again, Mike? What are we doing?
Yeah.
I'm the same way. I'd also be explaining my case. I don't know if you heard about what happened at the airport on Tuesday with Southwest Airlines. Like, I get into it. Could you imagine? I just came on my show. I just went, I had a tough time travel the other day. Moving on.
I'm just telling you, it was crazy, and I can't
I'm
tell you
just
a lot
telling
about
you,
it. It was nuts.
I was uncomfortable, and I was not happy with Southwest Airlines. And all right, anyway, you'd want to know some more details. I know I'm getting ragged on for giving details, but that's kind of what you want to hear if there's a story.
Right? Why leave us hanging? Yeah,
exactly.
Removed about 4 or 5 of them that were viral content, by the way. I'm literally removing posts that have 600,000 views and going up. Geez, why are you doing this to me now, Meta? Why are you doing this to me now? I'm a good...
That's not true. Things plateau. But
no, but it's never, my views are going down on this video.
That's true. Yeah, I can't. Yeah, right. That's right. It can only go
100,000 less views on it.
Okay, yeah. I'll give you that. But I'm gonna let this play a little bit longer, and then I have some thoughts on what his defense is here, because it's not a good defense.
Good guy, Meta. I've been shadow banned. I've been regular banned. Come on, Meta. I have 57 million views the last 30 days. I've worked so hard. 11 million accounts reached in 30 days. I'm not like a freaking, I'm not like Justin Bieber, dude. Okay, I'm just some guy from Schaumburg, buddy. Give me a little bit of credit. Don't pull the rug underneath me, pal.
Okay.
Yeah, I wasn't sex trafficked.
Let me...
My asshole wasn't abused to get where I am.
I'm not a star because of Diddy. It's not nothing like that. This is what I want to say about this. So his defense is, I have tons of views. My videos are going viral. I'm getting tons of views on your platform. And in his mind, he's going, you need me. Why would you shut me down? I'm the one crushing it for you. And my buddy Drew Lane always says, You know, the NFL sometimes doesn't realize that they're bigger than just one player. Like, they don't need to reinstate Deshaun Watson. As good as he is, Deshaun Watson was really good.
Yeah.
But he does something egregious where he sexually assaults all these women. And they're like, should we suspend him? I don't know. He's got both the arm strength and he can scramble out of the pocket. He's a pretty good player, pretty dynamic. It's like, no, the NFL is fine without Deshaun Watson.
There's
not one player.
They suspended Tom Brady for bullshit, by the way. But that's
but this is the thing. Like, the NFL doesn't need Deshaun Watson, and Instagram doesn't need John Cerasani. So his argument is retarded. He's sitting there going, well, what are people going to watch if they don't watch me? Everything else. It's not like Instagram's looking at their data. They're just like, what is going on with our engagement? It's way down. Like, when we took John Cerasani off, like, oh fuck, that was a mistake. What were we thinking? No, they'll be shown a different video that they'll also engage with. You idiot.
In other news, Meta stock plummets today, as we haven't gotten a John Cerasani gambling update.
I'm telling you, it's not like people are selling off their shares because they're just like, oh, I got inside info. John Cerasani for 365 days can't post live.
Did he win his $100,000 back this time? We don't know.
We'll never know now, unless he posts about it after the fact. That's the other thing too. It's just like you just can't go live. That's what YouTube's for, man. Don't worry about Instagram. Instagram Live is for Chad Zumox. It's not for you. You're bigger than that. Bert Kreischer still likes you. You're bigger than that. You don't need that shit. What was your theory? What were you thinking?
I was thinking he goes live in casinos and openly, like, he's not. From being on a show that's on Barstool, I know, like, there's a lot of things you have to kind of be careful about when talking about, like, gambling stuff when you're associated with, like, DraftKings or something like that. John Cerasani just goes live and just unfiltered just talks about all his winnings. He's filming blackjack tables, all this shit. There might be something there where he's just, like, not allowed to do that live.
Yeah, there's also a thing with, like, release forms. I don't know how it works for social media, obviously, but in the real world of broadcasting, you can't just go around filming. Like, if I'm sitting at the blackjack table, let's say I'm next to John at the blackjack table, I'm at the high roller table, and I have a gambling problem. My family has a problem with that. My wife's ready to leave me. And I'm like, I'm not gambling at the blackjack table. What are you talking about? What are you kidding me?
Oh, right. Yeah, true.
You know what I mean? Or like Johnny Football. Do you remember this story where he was like the third string quarterback for the Browns? He's making $12 million a year. And he decided to go to Vegas to gamble for the weekend.
Yeah.
And then he was supposed to be at a game. And he missed the game and he lied that he wasn't in Vegas. Imagine if he was sitting next to John Cerasani. And you're like, hey, there's Johnny Football right there. He's sitting there fucking gambling at the blackjack table. Like, I didn't set a release for him, but I was going out to 12 million viewers of this shit. So I don't know what I wish you would tell us what the violation was or what's going on here. But it's obviously not on the up and up if he's deleting videos.
Well, John, leave a comment. We know you're a fan. Let us know.
Let us know what we got wrong. Was it your daughter? Was there
your
too
daughter's
much
too
cleavage?
hot for Instagram.
Was it too much cleavage? We don't like that kind of thing around here.
No.
It's just, we're kind of like, well, I'll let Art Bell say it.
You see, this is a we just do it kind of show.
That's right.
Right.
So we just do it kind of show. Anyway, this is another Instagram video I wanted to show you that came in from Psychotic on our Discord server. And this is fun. This is a fellow blind guy.
Oh.
And Mike, have you ever, I'll use the word watch to hope that you're not offended. You ever watch tennis on television?
Not really, no.
But you've probably been around a TV where tennis
Oh,
was
yeah,
on?
absolutely. Yes.
Okay.
I'm familiar with it. I know what it looks like from my perspective.
This is official Gordon Mote, who's another blind person who does an impression of what he thinks tennis sounds like when he hears it on television.
Okay.
Okay, wait, what were you doing?
Well, I was just going to show you what a blind guy hears when tennis is on television.
Okay, let's see it.
But
Let's hear
you
it.
got to close your eyes. You have to close your eyes. You can't watch.
Okay.
Okay. That's what a blind guy sees when tennis is on.
That's really good.
Very good.
It's not bad. It really is. It's not bad. If you closed your eyes, if you're listening to the audio version of the show, You'd think we were watching the Wimbledon just now.
How is he doing it with his mouth?
Yeah, he's doing it with his mouth.
That's
and,
very impressive. I was
Squeaking,
expecting the opposite.
squeaking in front of the TV. What do you mean you were expecting the opposite?
I was expecting a horrible rendition.
Oh,
of what
okay.
This would sound like.
You thought I was going to make fun of blind people like I normally do on this show. I have a heart. I have a heart, Mike.
Sweet of you. Propping us up for once.
You know who doesn't have a heart are the people who are trying to screw up our show and our flow by going to supertip.gg/WATP and putting in their super tips.
Yay, super chats.
And that includes Drunk Engineer, who says, Mike Little Buddy Geary, it is then. Oh, forget Blind Mike.
I'm a little buddy now.
Mike Little Buddy.
One of the little buddies.
I still think you're Gen Pop.
I guess ultimately I can't shake that.
KFT coming in.
I'm a 50-wire-old D-bag who wears a hat like a 16-year-old. Also, isn't my daughter hot?
Free Palestine. That's right, Portnoy. Suck you Jays.
Guys, you got to stop putting stuff like that in. Mike's already in hot water with Dave Portnoy.
He's not going to like that.
It's only going to get worse here. You know, he's trying to work on the Kirk Minahan show. Jesus.
You guys probably think like, oh, that'll mend this fence. But no, it's
just the opposite. So it's very hurtful, actually.
Yes.
King Caprice. Patty Seacups is a better vocalist than Eric July. That's funny. I like that. And Hamilton Berger. Jealous Carl sings so bad isotopes have no lyrics.
Ooh, good point.
Damn it.
Patrick Michael better than you.
I've sung in many bands. You can go listen to my music special on WATP that everyone loves so much. Hear a lot of the songs that I've sung over the years as a front person in bands.
I'll have to look into it.
All right. While you look into that, I'm heading over to Twitter.
Look at this tweet now.
Sadie Perkins. You heard about this woman?
Oh, yeah. She's a real treat.
She really is. She's a lot of fun. This is the woman you want at a dinner party.
Oh, yeah.
Because, you know, like a lot of people sit on their hands and they're just kind of looking at each other like, we don't really know each other. What do you guys want to talk about? The weather? Sports?
This is where you hear a lady like this, and I'm like, all right, I'm just listening. I'm not getting involved.
right.
Everyone else can argue with her. I'm just listening.
All right. So I'm just going to pull up for the people who are watching. This is what Sadie Perkins looked like. Attractive black woman with long blonde braids coming out of her head. And she had a take on this flood in Texas. That hit this Christian camp. And it's a little different take than most people would have, I assume.
Fair to say.
And yeah, I mean, the reason why we're even talking about her is because she was a board member for the Food Insecurity Board.
Yeah. It was good work.
Appointee of the former Democrat mayor, Sylvester Turner, to the Food Insecurity Board. That's an important role. We need a lot of people on the Food Insecurity Board in Texas. Let's see what she has to say.
There's people in it. Oh my God, there's so many people in it.
I know I'm probably going to get canceled for this, but Camp Mystic is a whites-only girls' Christian camp.
Preach.
They don't even have a token Asian. They don't have a token black person. It is a all-white, white-only, conservative Christian camp. If you ain't white, you ain't right, you ain't getting in, you ain't going.
Yep.
Period.
Yep.
And I think that context needs to be said in this matter.
You go, girl.
It's not to say that we don't want the girls to be found, whatever girls that are missing or whatever now.
Yes. Yes.
Everything you just said was negated by that. No, I mean, I want them to be found. I'm like, no. It's time for God to start taking out these whites. I think.
And of course, let's find them, I guess. But, you know, how fast do we have to find them?
But you best believe, especially in today's political climate, if this were a...
Hold on, I got to back that up. I'm pretty sure she said, it's not that we don't want to be found or whatever. I think an or whatever came in there. Let me play that again.
to be said in this matter. It's not to say that we don't want the girls to be found, whatever girls that are missing or whatever now.
Or whatever.
Whatever.
It's not to say we don't want the people to survive this or whatever.
Find all of them, some of them, whatever.
Whatever. However that works out, you know.
But you best believe, especially in today's political climate, if this were...
How many X's are there in the word especially?
Oh, come on.
Far be it from me.
Far
be it from
That's
me.
over the line.
You're right. I went too far there.
A group of Hispanic girls, especially with them being in East Texas, it should be most likely Hispanic. If this were a group of Hispanic girls out there, this would not be getting this type of coverage that they're getting. No one would give a fuck. And all these white people, the parents of these little girls, would be saying things like they need to be deported. They shouldn't have been here in the first place. And
Amen, sister.
I think you're close to right. I'm thinking like a standing O. You know, you see Hispanic girls who are 16, 17 years old get whisked off in a flash flood. I think a lot of white people are pumping their fists in the air. Finally, some justice.
I tried saying this during the whole Sandy Hook thing. I was like, a bunch of sniveling white kids. Big deal. Big whoop. But America wasn't ready for my opinion back then.
These parents have multiple kids. They're lousy with children. How many do they need over here?
Exactly right.
Yada, yada, yada. So before y'all come at me, before y'all start leaving hate comments on my page about, oh, these are just kids and they don't know no better, the parents of these children who are choosing, and it is a choice in 2025, it is definitely a freaking choice to go into East.
Oh, wow. She just showed a photo on their website where all the kids are wearing pride colors, which there's a little diversity there, so you probably didn't want to show that one.
Forced diversity.
I know, but it's a Christian camp, you know. It seems like they're maybe a little bit liberal. You don't want to show.
Damn it, they're open-minded.
You don't want to be open-minded. You just want to be these white assholes.
Dead kids were bigots.
I love that. She's like, I know they're kids and they're innocent, but their parents suck. So there's that.
I like that she yada-yada'd that the kids are probably dead.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
You know, whatever, they're missing, go find them, yada, yada, yada. You know what I mean.
They probably can't hold their breath for days. I don't know, whatever.
To go into East goddamn Texas and to make a all-white enclave, exclusionary just for white people, with all the black people in East Texas, with all the Hispanic people in East Texas, somehow, some way, you have carved out an all-white, whites-only enclave in East Texas for your white children. Yeah, I have a problem with that.
Mike, is there anything that's blacks only? Like maybe universities, or has that ever happened? Has that ever occurred before?
Universities, I doubt it, Carl.
Okay, fair enough.
I have a big problem with that. Once again, this is no shade to the girls. I hope they all get found. But once again, y'all have to understand the climate that we're living in. They want you to have sympathy for these people. They want you to get out of your bed.
Now, a question for Sadie here. If there was a token Asian, would she have gone on this rant?
All right, fine.
It seemed like a concern of hers. It's not even a token Asian. Like,
wait, this one's half.
Yeah, that one right there is half Korean. I can spot the eyes. Is that are we good
fine. now? No. You know what? Go find the girls. That's fine. All right.
the parents deserve better. I apologize.
And to come out of your home and to go find these people and to donate your money to go find these people. Meanwhile, they are deporting your family members. Meanwhile, they're setting up concentration camps and prisons for your family members. And I need y'all to keep that in mind.
It's concentration camps. Is the news reporting on this?
I know. You would think it's another cover-up.
Holy shit. I had no idea that there was concentration camps going on in this country.
It's also, there's that you could argue, but I would also say is it Sade or Sadie? I forget.
Sadie
Perkins.
Uh-huh.
I would just mention to her, like, this would be like complaining about Merrill Lynch on 9/11. You know, maybe there's another day. Maybe there's like any other day you could go on this rant about this camp.
That's a good point. Wait till October.
Yeah.
Gilbert Gottfried would tell you. Yeah, give it some time.
Yeah.
Then we'll get into it.
Setting up concentration camps and prisons for your family members. And I need y'all to keep that in mind before y'all get out there and put on your rain boots and go find these little girls.
Jesus Christ. Christ. Before you put on your rain boots?
Oh, okay, Paddington Bear.
Holy
Go look for the kids.
Holy shit. I realized I wasn't showing the video, so let me just scroll back to where these kids are wearing their pride colors.
Oh, boy.
On here, yeah.
Choice in 2025. It is definitely a freaking choice to.
Yeah, these kids, they're a little too woke, if you ask me.
We lost gay kids? Now I'm upset.
Anyway.
I thought they were trolling for dick out there, but
Yeah.
now I know the truth.
Anyway, Mike, you sent this over to me. Any thoughts? Any comments?
That was pretty much it. Just a crazy lady. Lost her job. It was fun.
Yeah. She did. Oh, yeah. By the way, I should point out, she did lose her job over this. I might get canceled. I might be canceled for being a ridiculous racist, but
yeah, I'm a big cancel culture guy. You know, you guys know I fight for the cause, but this is one I'm like, okay.
Mike, if I'm ever on this show and I start off a sentence by saying, "No, I might get canceled for this," but feel free to just bounce out and just act like, "Oh yeah, I guess the server kicked me. I don't know."
It's just this rant. I'm like, good lord.
Yeah. Mike's just like, yeah, my computer died. Sorry. You look like Mike Myers next to Kanye West. George Bush doesn't care about black people.
If you're working on the board of food intolerance and a white kid comes up, more porridge, please. You can't just spit in their face, I suppose, is what we learned today.
Yeah, that's probably true. All right, we're having more fun than usual. We got to head over to TikTok, but first we got to have you guys stomp on the brakes by heading over to supertip.gg/WATP and supporting the show.
Super chat now. God's gonna read a super chat. Super chat. Oh, come on now. Mike would do it, but he can't. Hey! Woo!
That is true. If you watch Blind Mike's channel, you don't see any of this from supertip.gg/WATP with KFT coming in.
That is the democracies more ignite, are not in a position to take in the Jews. Yet, in these empires, there are not 10 people to the square kilometer. While Germany, with her 135 inhabitants to the square, I'm Mike Geary, Geary, and I approve this message. Hey, Portnoy, suck this dreidel.
KFT, whose side are you on? This is not helpful at all.
Also, dreidel is not a flattering penis euphemism.
No, it's not. I got a whole dreidel down there, babe.
I'm
all
sounding, if Moody or whoever's responsible for this listens, I'm sounding a little more like a bad Al Michaels impression or Kermit the Frog or something.
You're also talking too fast. You're not a fast talker.
Yeah.
So a couple of these AI voices need to get figured out a little bit. Anonymous, this is a quick one.
Beans.
Beans?
Yes, beans.
All right, you and what's his nuts having a conversation there?
Jerry Banfield?
Jerry Banfield.
I don't even know him that well. Interesting.
Yeah, well, you guys have beans conversations from time to time, I would imagine. Rocco Orby 2002 says, aren't HBCUs packed with mostly black people?
I don't know what that is.
Probably Christian camps or something like that.
Oh.
I don't know the answer to that.
Well, flood one of those then. What do you want me to do about it?
What am I, God over here? Happy Valley Wrecking Crew, $5. Yes, smart whites pay good money to keep their children safe from blacks at summer camp. Imagine that. Whoa. Wow. Mike's the one who's picking this content that we're watching here. I don't know what he's
fun. I didn't realize it would.
I don't know what he's
spark this
looking
kind of
for.
debate.
Oh, you didn't?
No, we kill the other ones. No, wait, that's not what I meant.
You co-host the show with Craig. You didn't know what was going to happen when you
point.
did this.
I thought here was a safe space.
Fair enough. All right, let's head over to TikTok. I have someone I want to introduce you to that I think you're going to be excited about.
TikTok's a psyop by the Chinese to fuck up the minds of our youth and some other people too. So let's talk quite a lot about these TikTokers we stalk and know. Oh, TikTok fucking blows.
I'm not going to forget to bring up my screen this time. So this one comes in from Calabrese 1976. Oh, I'm sorry. No. This is Calabrese 1976. This is the TikTok account we're looking for. And the person who sent this in says, Carl, here's another woke dad in the making, or perhaps just a cheap knockoff. Just bullshit stories that never happened, replete with liberal hero complex. So this is Calabrese, 1976.
There's this couple that I pass on the walking path during my after lunch strolls, and they stand out because they're often wearing the same thing. They have an array of matching tracksuits, and at Christmas time, they both wear Santa hats, and we share hellos and waves and a consistency nearly every day after lunch, and we share quips about the weather because we're always out in it. In August, something like, hot enough for you? Or if it's sleeting and snowing, something like, lovely day, isn't it? And sometimes I wouldn't see them for a week or so, and then they'd show.
Yeah, you're seeing the similarities already.
Jesus, yeah.
Yeah, he's really building this backstory.
Yeah.
To get you to know these people and his relationship with them.
Okay.
Could you imagine he sees them in August? Hot enough for you? Yeah, all right.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
Yep. We must know these people really well.
Lovely day, isn't it? And sometimes I wouldn't see them for a week or so, and then they'd show back up with a suntan at the end of March, wearing matching Cozumel sweatshirts. And I hadn't seen him for a couple weeks, and I was out last week and I could see him walking toward me. And once you pass somebody so many times, you start to recognize their gait from far away. And we approached each other and I said, oh, you solo today? And he nodded and he stopped and took his hat off. And I could tell he was getting choked up, and I put my hand on his shoulder and he put his hand on mine and gave me a sort of awkward hug, and he couldn't find any words, and I said, you don't have to tell me about it. It's all right. He nodded.
This is a winner, huh, Mike? This is a winner.
That's a good one to pass along to Daniel. You don't even need to make up a story. Just say and be like, he couldn't say anything. So like, I don't even know what it was. That's
all right.
Powerful.
Hold on. We got 10 more seconds of this. I just wanted to give you a second.
All right.
We let go and he started to walk away, and I said, we'll see you later. And he looked back and he said, you'll see me. Oh, this life.
So that was the video.
He killed himself?
No. The guy said, I'll see you again. And what we don't know is where this woman went. Did she leave him for a less corny man who didn't want to wear matching outfits? What happened? We don't know what happened.
That boy, this is interesting. I gotta say this. At least Daniel wraps his stories up. We know, and the man left and said, "You're a hero," and everybody cheered. We have that. Now I have to wonder what happened to this guy. Did he walk down the railroad tracks? What's this poor man?
Could you imagine? Like, I'm going to introduce you to these characters, but you won't know what happened, and don't even ask because I don't know. So even if you wanted to know the answer, I couldn't tell you.
It's not even really like a woke story. It's just an asshole story to tell us where we're like, what's wrong with this guy? Is he?
Yeah.
What's he gonna do to himself?
So he has no connection to these people. There's really nothing about it except for like one day. There's just one. There was two, and then there was one.
Can you imagine? I love the idea, but put yourself in both shoes. First, you're the guy who maybe his wife left him or something.
Died, I think is what he's implying. But
died,
we don't know.
okay, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And you're walking on the street, and a neighbor, a guy you see from time to time, goes, "Hey, how's it going?" You stop, put your hand on his shoulder, and weep, and then don't tell him what's wrong and leave.
You don't have to tell me. I was just gonna say my wife died. No. I don't need to know.
Now, from the other perspective, to have this man approach you, and you're so poised that you just put your hand on his shoulder, and you hold him for a moment and go, "You don't need to tell me." That's how it was. Almost like you were ready for that. You're like, "Oh, I'm outside. Probably someone's going to come down the street with a life-altering moment that they aren't ready to share."
I got to be honest. I'm terrible at wakes. I never know what to say to people. I think a lot of people feel that way.
Yeah, same.
And I can't imagine like just that occurring out in the wild. We're just like, "Hey, Carl, now you're in that spot," and I'm like, "I nailed it. I did it perfectly. Look at me." That's
how you need to do it. Now, like once you realize that about yourself, instead of the wake, just be like, "Hey, let's pretend like you don't know I'm gonna be there." You know,
right?
Like, "Oh, Carl, what are you doing there?"
Yeah, I just show a knowing glance. They're like, "Yeah, no, Carl, I've known you since high school. Like we're pretty good friends." Appreciate you coming.
Oh, that's a fun one. I gotta follow this guy.
All right. Yeah, we'll check in on him again. Thank you very much to the person who sent this to me was named John Melendez, so I assume that's not his real name.
Oh, thanks, John.
But thank you, John Melendez, for sending that one in.
I like Carl's coverage. I just don't like when he talks about me.
Could you imagine he's contributing to WATS?
This show's pretty good. I like the format of this one.
He's on the couch eating popcorn right now. It's like
smaller subjects, more rapid pace. I like
right.
it.
Yeah, he's like, maybe I'm a gearhead. All right. Speaking of locales, I got to show you what's going on with the Opster on TikTok.
Opie Radio. The Opie Radio Podcast.
Babble, babble, babble. Oh! Skunk fart.
Okay, Opie is on TikTok, as you know, and he's still up there updating. He's still doing his thing, and he's going to comment on this Black Sabbath show that recently happened.
Oh, good.
Of course, it was the final ever Black Sabbath show, and Ozzy is Parkinson's. He's not mobile.
Yeah.
He's sitting in his throne up there and
Norton
singing
and
the
Florentine
songs.
were there, I believe.
They were,
21.
yes.
Yeah.
From what I heard, Norton called in a favor to Sharon in order to get tickets for this.
Wow.
Which I commend him for. He should be doing that.
Yeah.
Because that time that he bought him all those cool Beatles books and Ozzy just left him in the studio.
I know. It was never paid back in full.
Yeah, so he earned this one, which is great. So this is Opie's, of course, watching what's going on. He's got a take on it, which is good because it's relevant. It's pop culture. It's what people are talking about. And that's what you want to do on TikTok is, people are talking about Ozzy. What's your take, Opie?
Mm-hmm. But at least with Ozzy sitting down, they made it look badass. You know, when Phil Collins was sitting down recently in concert, he looked like Stephen Hawking's as he was singing his hits.
All right, so I guess his take is that Ozzy is more badass than Phil Collins.
Wait, let the video keep playing.
Nope, that was it.
That can't be right.
I swear to God. Opie thinks this is going to go viral? What's he doing?
Well, at least that hits the algorithm. Like all the kids that don't really give a shit about the Ozzy show, but they're typing in Ozzy Osbourne, Phil Collins. It'll hit that algorithm.
Of course, yes.
Yeah.
Of course he is. And so someone writes, Ozzy is far more badass than Phil Collins. This is Tammy who wrote that in the comments.
I think Phil Collins would tell you that.
And Opie responds, no contest. Opie's not only actively TikToking, he's also responding to people.
That's good for the algorithm. That's just smart.
That's a good point. Someone must have told him that.
That's why I responded to John Cerasani. I know the algorithm.
You know what I called you out for, but now I'm the idiot.
Now you get it. Yeah.
I host a show about social media. I'm like, no, never engage. You should never engage with people. Like, no, you should actually. It's helpful. All right, so Opie was recently over at Gebhard's, or as he calls it, Gepfarts. I don't see you laughing. Oh, there you go. Okay.
I remember.
All right. Yeah.
I remember a man from my neck of the woods offering free farts at Gephards, as I recall.
He was dressed as a whoopee cushion outside.
Yeah, he sure was.
It's a whole thing. Anyway, they have a hot take on Broadway. Now, in New York City, in Manhattan, there's this thing called Broadway. There's musicals that occur there.
Mm-hmm.
And for a long time, it hasn't been seen to be like a thing that heterosexuals would be excited about.
I suppose.
Yeah, cisgender straight men, as Daniel would say.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be into this sort of thing.
Stereotypically, I'll agree with you.
Sure. And so there's some hot takes going down at Gebhard's, and Opie captures that and puts it on TikTok, which is great.
But at least with Ozzy...
That's the wrong link.
Oh, no.
That is the wrong goddamn link. I set it up perfectly, too. My setup was so strong.
It really was.
But I'm going to find it because I know exactly where it is.
Just go back, listen to Carl's setup, and then hit 15 seconds ahead. It'll be like this never happened.
Yeah. Casey Day, if you're editing this for one of our video segments, feel free to cut this part out, make it sound seamless. That'd be
Leave
great.
it in.
Fuck you.
Every guy at a Broadway show, what do?
Roll your eyes.
How many more fucking songs are left?
Right.
And you start counting.
Way too many, and then you go back and look for the hot chick.
Oh, we got 8 songs left. It's so bad. Every guy at a Broadway show.
So that was 11 seconds. The last
That's
one was
bold.
12 seconds. Yeah.
That is an interesting take. You think guys ever fall asleep at a Broadway show that their wife
No.
dragged them to, maybe?
No. They are bored though.
Yeah.
They are bored. So Opie does this thing, and I'll never understand it. He brings 2 microphones to Gebhard's to have 3 or 4 people on the show.
Sure.
And so he goes, every guy at a Broadway show, what do they do? And he pushes the microphone into Littlefoot's face. Littlefoot is a nothing of a personality. He's got nothing to say. I don't know why Opie thinks all of a sudden he's found the next Jim Norton or Anthony Cumia is just going to like come up with that quip that's going to make the setup perfect.
Imagine doing your show like you were a street reporter. Like it's like producer Chris looks like he's got a comment. Chris, go ahead.
Right? Yeah. Like, what are you doing? Like ask a question and then do that, or continue on with your thought. Every guy at a Broadway show, what do? I'll tell you what they do. They're counting how many songs are left.
He consistently, like to the point where you would think it was a bit if you didn't know him better, but like has the coldest takes is wrong. I don't know, the lukewarm, I guess, where it's like the most bland, who gives a fuck thing about everything. It stems from him being like, with politics, he's like, I think both sides are bad. It's like, yeah,
right.
Okay, well, have a unique take about it. And that with Ozzy, it's like, yeah, but he's pretty old.
Yeah.
Oh, we know.
He's still more badass than Phil Collins, though.
He's an older gentleman. We know.
Yeah, Phil Collins was never a metalhead, so right.
Right.
Probably pretty true. There's no stories of Phil Collins storing a line of ants to get high and biting a head off a bat. So yeah. We get that part. But this whole thing where he literally does, and he didn't used to do this. So I don't think Chip started doing this to make fun of Opie. I think Opie just become Chip. Where it's just
I really don't like. I don't think Jim Norton would blatantly make fun of Opie in front of Opie.
No. Chip was not Opie.
Yeah.
Yes, I think they both kind of morphed into it.
Yeah,
it's kind of like the operating systems for Windows and Mac, where they just kind of like both picked up the best things of each other. This picked up the worst things of each other and just kind of morphed into each other. Because it's literally Chip would just be like, Broadway shows go. Or guys at Broadway shows go. And Opie literally does that without saying go, but with pushing the mic into Littlefoot's face to be like, now you say something.
Right.
Home run, call me a home run.
Exactly.
And of course, this idiot has nothing because he's a nobody and he sucks. He has no personality. And I don't know why he's still doing this Gebhard show, but neither here nor there. Littlefoot, God bless you. What I love about this video is that Ricky Monkeypox is the only comment on it. Listen to what he writes.
Okay.
I always take my mom wife to Broadway shows. After a nap, she's down to clown, if you know what I mean. So his one comment
came from.
His one comment on a TikTok video is just referencing me.
Well, it could be.
Not a good. Yeah, it could be a lot of things. That's true.
Yeah.
I shouldn't get so full of myself.
Mom wife.
I would take my mom wife after a nap. She's down to clown. All right, let's get a take on Elon Musk. You were bringing up politics earlier.
Oh man, I don't want to hear where he goes with this.
Oh man, indeed.
Watch out for this Elon Musk, man. He's dangerous.
All right, I'm gonna bring it back again because I forgot to point out there's audience reactions now. This is Opie. He's doing his podcast, the Opie Radio podcast, and he's up on the second floor of his home in the Hamptons overlooking the ocean.
Right.
And now he's overdubbing this weird clown music, and he's got laughter.
It's supposed to be like menacing laughter, I guess.
It sounds like it, doesn't it? But some of it sounds like he's maybe getting a giggle. I was going to say years ago, 18 months ago.
Yeah.
We used to cover a lot of these comics that would do these stand-up shows from their living room. And they
Pete Gershio, yeah.
Okay, good. I'm glad you remember the name.
Yeah.
And he would put in all these laughter tracks and post.
Yeah.
As Mitch Hedberg would say, sweeten it, which means add sugar to. He was sweetening his videos, and it sounds like Opie is doing the same thing here.
Watch out for this Elon Musk, man. He's dangerous. He loved Trump a mere a month ago, and now he hates his guts. You got to watch out for people like that could turn that quickly.
There's no way it ends there.
It's a 15. That was the longest one we've seen from Opie. 15 seconds.
So I know, like Opie does. I assume the same thing. I use one of those services that like basically just cut. You put a segment in, and it'll just cut clips for you.
Oh, you do.
But it spits a lot out that I'm like, if it cut me that, I would just be like, oh, I can't use this because there's nothing there. I would say to myself, man, well, if I was watching this, I wouldn't give a fuck about this. So I don't use that one.
What's the name of that service? Is it called Hack Ride?
Kind of, yeah.
So, okay, so that's interesting because I get emails all the time from these companies just like, Carl, we'll take your content, we'll clip it up, it'll have the best parts for TikTok and YouTube Shorts, and anyone who follows me knows I don't take advantage of any of that stuff because I don't trust it at all. Because you get shit like this, 15 seconds of Opie amusing himself over a point that's not very good, and you go, okay.
Yeah, the point, I guess maybe I shouldn't blame the service. They're probably thinking, well, what do you want me to do with that? he just said, hey, isn't it Elon and Trump aren't getting along anymore? Like, what's AI going to do? Even it's not that powerful to make something out of that.
All we have is supercomputers. We can't do anything more than what we have. I'm sorry, sir. Opie's frantically writing emails. Why are all these clips so embarrassing?
Make me interesting.
Yeah,
AI.
right. Like, oh, it's not how that works. Speaking of interesting, GG33 in the wild. You found this. There was also someone in our Discord server posted this too. So I would have had it regardless.
Yeah.
But this is incredible. This is like a woman's doing like the man on the street interviews.
Mm-hmm.
And she happens to be asking GG33, the numerology guy, a question about, would you rather date a liberal woman or an immigrant, right? Is that the question?
I think so. A guy sent this to me on Twitter and goes like, hey, I just would have passed by this and thought it was like a fake video. And then I realized GG33 is the man being interviewed. So
yeah, this is actually pretty crazy.
Yeah.
I enjoyed this one.
Would you rather date a liberal or an illegal immigrant?
Illegal.
Why?
Man, liberals are mentally ill, plus they're usually whores. With the illegal immigrant, maybe you'll find like a Muslim who has a low body count, but if they're an American, it's like when
forget the numbers stuff, Gigi. Stick to this. This is good.
A low body count.
These are good things.
I like that that's one of his things. It's like, by the way, GG33, he might have some money because he does grift his audience. Yeah. But he's not in good shape. He's not a good-looking man. And he's sitting there going, well, how many guys have you fucked? Like, he's judging these
He
women.
might mean it has to be 3 or 9.
Yes, or 9.
Or 13.
Or 8. 8 would be great because that's the number of money. Right. Okay, that's a good point. What's your body count? She's like, you slut-shaming me? He's like, no, I just wanted to add up to certain numbers.
I literally need to know. Or
Yeah. I don't care if it's 934. That's actually a good number because that adds up to 8, which is...
Whores. With the
6, I just realized, but
illegal immigrant, maybe you'll find like a Muslim who has a low body count, but if they're an American, it's like Lenny Kravitz said, American woman, stay the fuck away from me.
Are you really fucking kidding me?
Okay, this is great. So there's a woman interviewing him who's fine with his answer. Another woman swoops in who overheard him, and she is not happy about what she's hearing over here. And she needs to make it better. She needs to make it right.
At all.
You are a piece of shit.
Who asked for your opinion?
Who asked for
your opinion?
You're on a public
Are you drunk,
street.
ma'am? Are you drunk, ma'am?
Are you delusional?
Stop doing drunk.
Are you drunk?
And this is exactly why the 19th Amendment should be repealed, right here.
Okay. I have to tell you, this is probably the most controversial thing he's saying. I agree with this. This is the part that I agree with.
Oh my God.
Where it's time to repeal the 19th Amendment. It hasn't worked out. We can all agree.
Daniel Alexander has to be looking at this thinking like, in one...
Oh, God.
In one chance encounter, GG33 has a video that Daniel dreams of.
Yes, this is the exact confrontation he wants to have.
Yeah.
He would kill for this.
Here, this woman knows nothing about politics. She has no sense about history, but she just wants to run her mouth. This is exactly what's going on.
Dude, that is...
Why are you here? No one asked you to be here. So go over there, talk to whoever you want. You're not wanted here. Bye-bye.
I have to give GG33 credit here. He's trying to remove the problem from the situation. Like, man, this is not going to go well for you. You're not going to convince anyone over here. Move along.
I'm right, so there's no sense in adding.
She does not heed this warning.
Bye-bye, go.
I'm not leaving.
Well, I mean, see, this is the problem with this country, man. These women come over here, they start talking, and nobody will wants them there.
Women. come over here.
Why are you here? No one wants to talk to you.
No one wants to listen to your
You're here though. I'm not coming to you. You're coming to me. By the way, why are you? It's a Cleveland show. Why don't you cover up? You need some fucking Islam in your life. You need some Islam in your life. Go find Jesus Christ.
Miami, dude. People walk around.
Now I'm fired up. I don't care about his takes. I'm fired up because last week, or a couple weeks ago, when you weren't here, we learned Islam is bad because is in it.
That's right. Yes, that's what it is. Just like Israel.
Bullshit.
Yes, I forgot about that.
Gigi, practice what you preach.
Well, he's
all
just
the other stuff is fine. But
yeah, it's a weird take. And by the way, I'm not a fan of performative GG33, but I do appreciate him putting this dummy in her place.
Sure.
So I'm on both sides on this one because he's a little over the top. He's a little annoying, to be honest.
Yeah, just a little.
Bikinis.
Thank you for not wearing that. I do appreciate that.
I am covered up.
Well, you know, when you grade on a curve of Miami, that's basically comparing yourself to whores and tramps and stuff like that. This is pure comedy. Again, another reason why the 19th Amendment should have been repealed. And again, the 19th Amendment did more damage than COVID-19. Why?
That's a funny line. The 19th Amendment did more damage than COVID-19.
That's like a Trump would respect.
I'm writing that one down.
That's
That's fun. Okay.
Hey, don't touch
Now she's messing with the camera.
people's cameras and stuff. Oh, wow.
Watch.
This is great. So she goes, let's get someone else's opinion. So she wants to bring people on her. Who's coming with me? She's doing that whole thing. Let's see how this backfires on her.
Let's ask him. Let's ask him. He's a non-white person. Let's ask him, man. You think this woman's drunk?
No, I think she should cover up though. I think she's got her tits out. You're a little too old to be doing that.
Okay. This man who's just sitting there minding his own business. They go, do you think this woman's drunk? His response, she needs to cover up her tits because she's too old to be looking like that, is the sickest burn you could possibly have on this woman.
And Gigi seems to be loving it.
Gigi, he was hoping this would happen. Because that is such a yikes moment. This woman's feeling good about herself. She does have her titties popping a little bit. And this guy's like, you're too old to be having your titties popping. That's rough right there.
Great job, by the way, by the interviewer who sounds to be a young-ish woman.
Yep.
Is that fair to say?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Kudos to her because most people of her generation would be like, hey, you can't say that. They'd be chiming in. She's like, hey, no, I've got a terrific video here.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep my mouth shut. Just let everyone do their thing.
Mm-hmm.
Ask for it.
Sorry. It's true.
Looks great. I'm okay with that.
Women always give their opinion when they're not even wanted. Example right here.
Dude, you're such
So she has with dude, just a dick. That was her.
It's amazing to see. He's got such a flimsy, obviously gimmicky thing that he rests on. Be this guy. This is interesting to watch. Do this all the time.
Right. No, that worked out perfectly for him. And I should point out, especially for people who are just listening to the show, not watching, GG33, as I mentioned, is overweight, but he also has a fanny pack over his shoulder. He's wearing like a purse, but it's a fanny pack. Like everything he's doing is a bad look. And there's so many ways to goof on him back, especially because I know his background about numerology and what a shyster he is. But this woman just comes up and goes, hey, you can't say those words you're saying. And she just walked right into it like an idiot.
It's
Very
wild
fun.
just to catch him in the wild, I guess.
Yes.
For lack of a better phrase. But like he's just roaming around and they're like, hey, GG33, not knowing he has an audience of people that think he's a moron.
All right, well, let's get into the content that he puts out on his own. Going back to
why do they
his,
think he's a moron? Let's
go back to his TikTok here.
There was this one woman in Central Park. She died. She was an 8 life path, born on 8th, and she died on the 8th day. And everyone's like, oh, she was a great person, everything like that. I'm like, nah, bro, something's fishy. Someone goes on the 8th day and they have all those 8s. Karma's involved. It always is involved with 8s. Remember, you fresh, you can do bad things. Maybe they come back to you next lifetime. I do bad things maybe 5, 10 years. As an 8, like this.
Yep. Good riddance, bitch.
Let me read you the first comment underneath. Janine says, I'm an 8. Very true.
What?
It's amazing.
I've got it coming.
Yeah. So the thing with the Life Path 8 is that they get a lot of money, but apparently karma's a bitch too. I didn't realize that.
Oh, but he always acts like it's a good thing. Like, look at the richest people in the world. What karma are they receiving?
Correct. Now, Mike, do you remember what your life path number is?
I don't.
I didn't either. I had to do it. I had to do the math again today. I completely forgot. But
Yeah.
I'm a 1. And let me read to you what a 1 is.
Okay.
A person with a life path number 1 tends to be hardworking, a natural born leader with a pioneering spirit that is full of energy and a passion for art. They have a strong desire to be number 1, which means a person with this number can manifest very easily. Due to their determination and self-motivation, they won't let anything stand in their way of accomplishing a goal. Their drive allows them to overcome any obstacle or challenge they may encounter, and they have the desire to accomplish great things in their lifetime. Their only need is to focus on what they want in order to achieve it. And I have to tell you, that's actually a really good description, which is kind of weird.
Maybe there's something to this.
Maybe there's something to it. So I went to a website that
Maybe they make it vague enough that it could apply to anybody, but go ahead.
Sure, but I'm down with a lot of that.
Yeah. Sure.
So let's let me read you a list of some other number 1 life paths and see if you're like, oh, that's my buddy Carl for sure.
Okay.
George Washington,
Absolutely.
Napoleon,
Mhm.
LeBron James,
Yes.
Tiger Woods,
Mhm.
Shaq, Magic Johnson,
Yep.
Tom Cruise, Martin Luther King Jr., Steve Jobs, Tom Hanks, Henry Ford, Scarlett Johansson, Drew Barrymore, Lady Gaga, Jack Nicholson.
There's a few of those. Obviously, not all of them, but when people
Dr.
ask
Seuss.
me, people say, "Hey, tell me about you do a show with Carl. What's he like?" I just kind of I'm like, "Well, like Shaq or George Washington or Tom."
Yeah. Picture like a Lady Gaga mixed with Kesha and Justin Bieber, Ronda Rousey, Harry Styles.
Well, it's also when you start to learn that there are only so many single-digit numbers.
Correct. Like I'm thinking to be in a list of like tons of famous people.
Yeah.
It's the only way that could possibly work out. Coolio's on the list. That's fun.
Oh.
Remember our guy at the City Winery in Boston?
Yes.
He kept saying Coolio.
Maybe that's why he wanted to be a 1.
Everything that we would ask him for, like, hey, could we get some more beers back here? He's like, Coolio. You guys want some more food? Like, Coolio.
Coolio received his comeuppance, though. Does that make him sort of an 8?
Oh, I hope I'm not a Coolio number 1. I want more of a.
It's hard to say.
Hold on, I want more of a Missy Elliott number 1 or a Pamela Anderson number 1 or an Amy Schumer. Oh, Amy Schumer. No, never mind. Morgan Freeman, Marilyn Monroe. Oh, Marilyn Monroe. No, not so good. Shit. The more I look into this list,
It's
Logan Paul.
It's kind of like they're all very different.
Tyreek Hill.
Interesting.
George Washington Carver. Yeah, it's all over the map.
George Washington and George Washington Carver.
Yep, both number 1s. And then you can start doing the letters game. Like they both start with the letters GEO. I don't know if you realize that.
Oh my god. RGE also.
We should really start our own cult. You ready for a brand new scam?
Oh, I'm very excited. I've downloaded it already. I've got a head start on you guys.
All right, good. Let's check it out.
I even have an app out there. The Q app is honestly the best astrology numerology app. Let's say you want to buy a BMW. You just put on BMW right here, and it tells you exactly everything about BMW. It's a 9 life path. It's a dragon. It's also a Pisces. If you're born in the dragon monkey rat year, BMW is a good car company for you. It's all organized here in this app. Let's see Ferrari. Ferrari, put it in here. Let's see what you get. What number is it? Number 8. Number of money. One of the most expensive cars there is. It doesn't matter if you're looking for
but
a
also
city,
you're gonna
place,
die.
you're trying to have a wedding.
Yeah, right. That way you'll also get your comeuppance immediately because you're number 8.
Paul Walker was apparently an 8.
Karma's a bit. That's I wonder if he was. That's interesting. Should look into that.
It doesn't matter if you're looking for a city, a place, you're trying to have a wedding at a certain location. That's what the Q app's about. Get the Q app.
The Q app is very exciting.
I wonder how much the Q app costs. I'm guessing $40,000.
Great question. I should have looked into that.
Based on what this guy has been up to in the past, $40,000 is probably the price tag for this thing.
It's a fair estimate. And when he starts, it sounds like bullshit because it sounds like it's going to be AI. Where he's like, you just put in BMW and it tells you everything you need to know about BMW. And I'm thinking, I can already do that. I can ask Grok and it'll be like, you know who made BMW? But
No. Grok. No. Grok isn't going to know your life path number and how that relates to BMW.
Right. So this is actually useful. I thought it was going to be a worthless piece of horse shit.
No, the Q. You don't realize this, but Mike, before you and I started this podcast, I punched your name into the Q app, and I went, should I even do a podcast with this blind Mike Geary fella?
Right, of course.
And that's what sealed the deal for me.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good thing, because if it would have told me something different, I'd be like, well, fuck this then.
Yeah, right. It's definitely not the digital equivalent of a magic 8-ball.
Ask again later. Should I buy a BMW? Not right now, but ask again later. All right. Holy shit. I should remind everyone, since they're all playing along at home, the life path number, you take your entire birth date.
Yeah.
So
I did this. I think I'm a 5 if I did the math right.
You did the math in your head? Okay.
Yeah.
So month, day, and year, you add up all those numbers together. And my numbers add up to 37. And then you add your 3 and your 7. And then you get 10. I'm retarded.
Oh,
and
no,
then
6. I did this wrong. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I was a 10, but then 10's not a number. You have to do a single digit unless you're obviously an 11, a 22, or a 33. And so then I added that up. So a 10 becomes a 1 because you get rid of the 0 because it has to be a single digit. So you had the 1 and the 0 after that.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So we do that again. My number added up to 37. 3 plus 7 is 10. 10 plus 0 is 1. My life path number is a 1. Therefore, I am George Washington Carver. You said you're a what? A 6?
I think so. Now I might have done it wrong again. But yeah, I think let's say 6.
It's a couple different equations in a row. You can get lost in it. I'm not gonna lie. I pulled a calculator out. I'm like,
2 plus 2 times 2 is how many?
Yeah, exactly. Fighter and the Kid all over again. All right, let's find out more about this Q app.
Yeah, this is just like another. I think it just gives a different example, basically.
Now that you know what your life path number is, everyone's doing this at home. They have the number in their head. Let's find out why that's important.
The Q app is the best app there is. Tell them about the Q app, brother.
If you need to travel, you can just look up the general location, like the state, gives you the energy to match it with yourself.
Okay, I already have a problem with this thing. So they go, if you need to travel, you can look up your energy with the state.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Mike, I never talk about this, but I was just in Florida. Florida's a very big state.
Yeah.
I was in Cape Coral. There's Miami. There's Jacksonville. These are all very different places. I can't imagine the energy is the same in all of these places in this state. Is that true? Like I had a tough time getting back. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing based on my life number, but would it be the same if I went to Jacksonville or Panama City?
Are you suggesting that in one of the most notable swing states, it's possible that different people have different energies?
I mean, Orlando, I feel, is a little bit different.
Yeah.
I don't know.
One of the most clear, eclectic mixes in the country.
Yeah. Like, I wasn't in Naples. I wasn't in Daytona Beach. Like, there's very different places on different coasts of the state.
It's an interesting point, but this is foolproof. So
okay, fair enough. Moving on.
Yeah.
You sign up to Lifetime like myself, you get these AI with multiple bots or different specialized subjects powered by your.
Okay, so when you sign up, you get an AI version of this. And I paused it on a screenshot that shows an example of how you would use AI. Mm-hmm. So if you pay for it, and what's showing on the screen right now is what is the best day to pay bills? So I go in there as a user who's yeah, that's what I wrote down too. Yes, when they're due is the best day to pay bills. The answer is 8 days. GG33 says bills paid under 8 energy flow works better. Avoid paying on 9. It ends cycles. 8 keeps the money coming back.
Oh, so you can pay on the 8th, the 26th, the 17th.
Correct. Yes, those are 8 days. Yes.
Got it. I'm getting the hang of this.
You are getting the hang of it. That was impressive. So those are the days you'd want to pay your bills. But if it's the 9th or the 18th, horrible time to pay your bills. Do not do that.
You could pay it on the 4th twice, I think, though. If my
that's probably not right, but maybe.
Okay. All right.
I would love for my American Express to come back to me like, hey, how come you didn't make your payment yet? I'm like, because it was due on the 9th. What am I, crazy? I'm not going to pay it on a 9-day. What are you nuts?
Oh, that makes sense. I don't even know why we charge on that day. That's
what do I look like, an idiot? I'm going to pay on a 9 energy day?
That one's
retarded.
on us. You're absolutely
Thank
right.
you. That'd be silly.
your teachings, right?
Correct.
Exactly.
It
The
just
artwork-
makes what you want to do in life so much easier, whether you're buying a car, whether you're thinking about taking a trip, whether you're going to a restaurant. Exactly what is best based off your energy. Do you understand how many mistakes?
Imagine living like that. Hey, Q app, I'm thinking about going to a restaurant today. You want to weigh in on this?
Like,
how exhausting is that lifestyle?
Which restaurant? Because I got a lot of problems with this idea already, Mike. Yeah, but I'm hungry and I want to eat later. Yeah, well, you let me know which restaurant you're thinking of.
Also, the answer, like in my case, if I'm I'm in Massachusetts, it should be like go to any restaurant because the energy's the same.
No. This takes the state out of. Okay, you're not understanding this enough. If you're traveling, it goes by the state that you're putting in.
Oh.
If you're buying an automobile, it goes by the make that you're getting. If it's a restaurant, it goes by the restaurant that you're going to. My question
I don't know
is,
the place near me.
my question is, Mike, what if, and this sounds crazy, what if I'm traveling with someone else who's a different energy life path than me?
Oh.
Or what if
toss
I'm
them out of the plane.
What if I'm going to a restaurant with 5 other people?
Hold on, wait. I'm trying to think of other segments. Are they Chinese or black? I think I'm mixing up philosophies.
Do you see where this could go south very quickly? It's just like,
bit.
all right, we got to travel on this day. And my wife's just like, fucking definitely not. Are you kidding me? With my life path number, there's no way we could do that.
Exhausting lifestyle the Q app is promoting.
Yes. But going out to a restaurant, I think, is the most egregious one.
Absolutely.
Where it's just like, well, I'm not going by myself, so do I need to check everyone's
My
numbers
girlfriend's
on
getting
this?
ready. Hold your horses, sweetheart. We're not
Off
getting
your
mixed into
energy.
that.
Do you understand how many mistakes people make not knowing that? We just made it easy for you. Just download the Q app.
I love too that he treats it like an infomercial. He goes, "Do you know how many mistakes people make?" And it just shows a woman with her hands over her eyes, sobbing. I can't believe I went to KFC on the 23rd. What was I thinking?
Like the Brian Regan bit, he's wrapped up in the blinds.
Yes. All right, we're gonna get to woke dad. I have a quick fun aside for us. We've talked about the plus size park hoppers quite a bit. The Hebrew Hammer posted this in our Discord server, and they always introduce themselves, so I don't have to explain who they are. You'll find out.
Have you been dying to ride Stardust Racers at Universal's Epic Universe, but you weren't sure if you'd fit? Hey everyone, we're plus-size park hoppers, and we range in sizes from 2X to 5X. Make sure you like this video and follow us for more plus-size tips and tricks. Stardust Racers is a thrilling dual-launch roller coaster located in Celestial Park. This ride seems very intense, launching you at 62 miles per hour and up to 133 feet in the air. There is a test seat for this ride located in the entrance to the left.
If they get out, it's about 42 miles per hour, and it might sag to 131 feet. What I love about this, I didn't know that this existed. I don't go to amusement parks that often, but they now have test seats for all these rides to see if the fattest people in the world can actually fit in them before they wait in line for an hour, which is convenient, I suppose. But this is just a great payoff for these planets trying to get on this ride.
Located in Celestial Park. This ride seems very intense, launching you at 62 miles per hour and up to 133 feet in the air. There is a test seat for this ride located in the entrance to the left. The seat is molded with a divider that goes between your thighs. The safety restraint is a lap bar that goes over your head, kind of like Velocicoaster. Ashley wears a size 5X and was unable to get the green light for this ride.
Not even close. The 5X woman pulls the thing down, and it's just like sits on her chest. She's like, nope, not even close. I'd hate to be the one who's like, I'm 4X. Should I try? Like, no, I don't bother.
I gotta give him credit though, as a larger man myself. If I get on one ride ever in my life and it says you're not fitting, brother, I'm like, well, that's it for rides.
Yeah, right. Yes.
For ride. I'm never putting myself through this again. So these gals have some get up and they have some stick to itiveness.
I thought the opposite way. I thought, okay, you like going on rides? You got to choose one, rides or snacks.
Sure.
Pick one or the other.
Sure. I guess that is my motivation. It's like, well, hey, I'm fat. I'm not going to lose the weight to get on this ride. I'm just never going back.
Do you want Cheez-Its or roller coasters? Because you just got to pick one or the other. It's not that difficult. But these women are just like, I like Cheez-Its and I like roller coasters. Like, okay.
I like
say
that
so.
Katie wears a size 3X and has 65-inch hips. The team member
65-inch hips. Holy shit. How many children is she bearing right now? That's wild. 65-inch hips. They might be taller than me. I'm not sure.
Oh, yeah, good point. I didn't think of it that way.
That's holy shit.
Advised her to sit as far back into the seat as possible, but unfortunately, even with a push, she was unable to get the green light. My name.
That's surprising. The 3X is surprising. I mean, when you read the 65-inch hips, you're a little like, okay. But...
If she wore me as a seatbelt, I wouldn't connect my fingers to my toes.
My name is Stephanie, and I wear a size 2X and have 60-inch hips. At first, I did not think I got the green light, but after sitting further back into the seat and with a push from the team member, I was able to get the green light.
What's funny about this, and I got to send this to Dick Masterson for his fat watch on the Dick Show. I don't know if he's seen this or not. What's funny about this is that as we're watching these women try to get into this seat for a ride that they're not even in line for yet, because they have to figure out if they can even get in there, this can only be fodder. The only reason for this to exist is for people like you and me to go, oh, this is hilarious.
People like you. I am very self-conscious about this.
Fair enough.
My pal Justin Trudell has scolded me for doing this very segment.
Fair enough. Understood. You are a fat ass.
Sure.
But this whole idea that then they get upset when people goof on them. Like, these are the women who took down a radio show. I don't know if you remember this, but we covered this like a year ago where there was a radio show that was making fun of them.
These same ladies? Oh, really?
Yeah, there was these same ladies, and then they came out in the press, and they were like, "This is fat shaming."
No, it's good.
What do you
Watch
want
us zip by you, sweetheart.
What do you want to have happen? What did you think was going to happen with this?
My head was feeling a bit jostled from the last roller coaster I rode, so I decided to sit this one out. The team member informed us that there are modified seats coming, but they haven't been installed yet. If you use an ECV, you must transfer into a wheelchair or walk throughout the queue. There is a transfer device available to make transferring easier.
Do you see why these theme parks charge so much for admission?
I suppose I do, yeah.
Holy shit.
That's a true love of Disney, or wherever the fuck this is.
God damn.
I've never loved anything. Like I said, there should be some shame involved. Like, as I said, like if I couldn't fit on a roller coaster, which luckily I still think I'm within that range, thank God. But if I couldn't, I'd be like, well, I'm horribly embarrassed. I wouldn't be like, well, let's find the roller coasters I can fit on. Are there any tests for this?
I get so annoyed by this. I never talked about this yet, but I flew Southwest on Tuesday.
I've heard.
Anyway, so my wife and I are getting on the airplane, and the way the Southwest works is really fucking annoying. Wherever you are in the line, you just kind of find your seat.
Yeah.
And so I saw a row that just had one person sitting in it. I'm like, oh, well, we can go grab that row. And then as we got a little closer, we saw how big this person was. And we were just like, oh, nope, never mind. We can't sit in that row. It's like there's certain things that, like, you've kind of taken yourself out of, like flying on airplanes and riding on roller coasters. Like when you get to that
riding on roller coasters in particular, because there's sometimes where it's like you have to fly. There's never a situation where it's like, all right, quick, I have to go to Space Mountain. Like there's never been an emergency where you need to take a roller coaster.
Well, hold on a second. You're saying that sometimes you have to fly. You never have to eat Cheetos.
Sure, you're very focused on the Cheeto aspect of being fat.
I said Cheez-Its earlier. I'm mixing it up. I don't know if you realize I'm a pro just like you, asshole. They sound similar.
Another thing to note is that you will need to go through a metal detector before riding this ride because there are no loose articles allowed. This roller coaster does go upside down, so if you're prone to motion sickness, this might not be for you. I hope to go back and ride this someday, and we are so excited to try out these modified seats when they're installed. We hope that these tips help.
We just want you to know that gravity will be involved in this. So that might affect you, ladies. Just FYI, we don't know what's going to happen.
It doesn't defy basic science, if you were. We just want to put that disclaimer out there.
Oh, no. Anyway, thank you for setting that in, the Hebrew hammer.
Yeah, I felt bad at first, but I feel nothing for these ladies after I found out they went after a radio show.
You feel better now?
I do.
And I was thinking about this. I always thought the Hebrew hammer was just a Hebrew who liked to hammer things. And then I was just like, oh shit, hold on. What does that mean?
Yeah, jeez.
Oh, no. I got to look at this again in our Discord. Which you can get to our Discord server by going to whoarethese.com. There's a link on there. It's free to join, and you can be a part of the channel that's Who Are These Socials. Participate in the show. The other way to participate in the show is by, while you're watching it live on Tuesdays, 6 p.m. Eastern, send in your...
Yay, super chats.
Hamilton Burger. Calabrese is Jack Black, but somehow much gayer. He does have a Jack Black look to him.
Oh, is that right?
Oh, Hackride is here. Glad you both are seeing the usefulness of pre-editing clips finally. I haven't wasted the last 2 years of my life staring at a cold, dead screen.
I don't know what he means.
What's up, Hackride? We're sending everyone over to unboxing. Oh, shit. Is it?
Unboxing Eric?
It's not unboxing Eric. I think it's unboxing
Riley Martin.
Bigfoot, I think. Damn it. I should have written this down. Anyway, if you're hanging out with us tonight, you'll be heading over to Hackride Studios with our boys Casey Day and our friend DJ Electrify.
He did a nice job with me and Kaylee as well.
He did. Bruceox20 says, doesn't Opie still have FH Riley's or whatever? Or is that over like his radio career? I think that's over. I don't think his brother I don't think his brother owns FH Riley's anymore.
Really?
I haven't heard him talk about it in 15 years.
That's true, yeah. He never promoted. Yeah, that's a good point.
Kelly Riddle, $5. Carl sure has a lot of opinions about other people's looks. That's rich coming from a guy who married a frumpy mom wife. Play the jingle. Jenny for life. Is there a jingle for my frumpy mom wife? I guess
that'd be a ballsy one of you to make. To have her sing it.
So you don't remember that either. I was going to say I'm not like suppressing this if that's a thing.
I said this on my show, but maybe the most egregious. After meeting Jenny Jingles, I was offended by what John said about her. I was like, she's lovely.
She's a lovely person.
Yeah.
Jay Loiterer, GG33 has 50 DDDs. Yeah, he's got some big old titties. Okay. Troy Smith, not much of a small world after all, eh? The world gets smaller as you get bigger.
Yes.
Proportionately is how that works.
Coming attractions.
All right, we got some Oak Dad to talk about.
Sitting in my mobile coffee shop,
making videos about my transvestite children for TikTok.
You know, we've been going back in the timeline with Dan and finding some old things. And our buddy Record Lover on our Discord server, who is also woke.dan on TikTok, he found one of his old grifts from December of 2023. He posted it on his Facebook at the Great Start Coffee Cart. And it says, wow, just the donations from the last 24 hours alone are over $400. Today, I'm able to hand $400 over to Cornell Elves to buy gifts for kids right here in our community for Christmas. That's not even including the over $200 I've already handed over this week. Every penny of that goes to the kids. That's so remarkable. We still have a lot of kids left on that list, but today we put a big dent in it. I'm trying my best not to full on ugly cry in the parking lot for all the right reasons.
Okay. I'm usually not on this try. The super chatters like this theme, I usually stay away from it. A man has never said ugly cry before.
Correct.
I'm trying not to ugly cry.
I see where you're going with this.
Wild.
Yes, I'm trying to full on ugly cry for all the right
reasons.
That's
just not what straight guys don't even think of that.
I'm so proud to be part of this community, and if I can encourage you, be proud of your friends and neighbors today. You are all so remarkable. He used remarkable twice, which is similar to another gay man I know. Anyway, this is Dan Alexander. What he does is he asks people for money so that he can then donate that money as if he's the one donating the money. But he's asking you to donate the money to him first. But he could just tell people, like, here's a charity to donate to.
Well, he literally he says that the Cornell Elves or whatever. Like that.
Yes.
That sounds like like you can donate to that, I assume.
Correct.
Why does he have to be in charge of it?
This is Meghan Markle has a charity, and they do the exact same thing. Like their charity,
other charities.
Yeah, their charity doesn't really do anything, but if you give them money, then they'll give the money to another charity that does stuff.
Nice.
Well, I could have just given my money to that charity that does stuff, which is why I think they got two donations.
We pick the best charities.
Well, that's the thing. Like, can I pick the charities? No, we'll do it. Oh, okay.
You probably don't trust. Am I wrong? You don't trust yourself to give to the right charity.
What a weird grift he's got going on. But he wants to feel like he's doing his part and he's doing good, even though He has nothing to do with anything. This is a very recent post that he put out. And wow, is this a conundrum? He doesn't know what to make of this one.
No, he certainly doesn't.
Yeah, we got a lot to unpack here.
This is the only. I was sad.
I got myself
this week.
Yeah. He's been busy.
He's very
busy.
quiet. Yeah.
He's busy with other things. So let's see what he's talking about.
I got myself caught in a conversation this morning between two conflicting sides, one that was being very racist and one that was being very misogynistic.
Damn, what are the odds?
I have to tell you, Mike.
Yeah.
When I hear the qualifier very, when you're talking about misogyny and racism,
Mm-hmm.
I find that to be odd. Like if I was hearing a conversation or I came across someone who was racist or misogynist, I would just say that.
Right. I mean, I'm imagining N words and C words flying, and like a lot of opinions. Yeah.
Like if you say someone's racist, I'm like, yeah, end of story. No, they're very racist. Oh, Anthony Cubia. Oh, okay, I know that guy. We're friends.
Yes.
No. The word "very" right there tells me like, oh, you're a pussy. Like, what do you mean they're very misogynistic? All right, well, we're gonna find out, which is fun. But it makes me think he doesn't know what those words mean. Those words are kind of absolute.
That's fair.
You know, it's like saying I'm very unique. The word "unique" already implies that I'm one of a kind.
Well, Daniel is extremely unique. So
he's extremely unique. Good point, Mike.
And I want to share this with you because this is kind of an important conversation, and I'm going to do my best to keep it short because there are a lot of details here. So I was cashing out this morning, trying to get some brushes. This is my new cafe, and the reason you haven't seen me a lot is I'm trying to do cleaning and painting and prep. This whole back wall is going to have a mural from my very favorite trans kiddo in the entire world.
Who?
Which one? Again, he chooses which kid he likes better. He has a gay daughter and a trans kid. He's like, the trans kid always comes first billing.
No, I think that's his favorite trans kid. The other one's his favorite gay kid, I'm sure.
But trans is better than gay in his world.
Well, the gay kid's not on the mural, so.
Correct. Yeah, so that tells you everything you need to know.
How uncomfortable would that be?
What is this cafe he's talking about? I think from the context clues I've gotten, and I have another Facebook post I'm going to show you, I think he's painting at a hockey arena, the cafe there.
Yeah, he says this is my new. He makes it seem like he's opening the cafe,
like a cafeteria.
The way he's phrasing it, doesn't it seem like it's part of the art studio?
That's what I thought, but it's not.
It's not.
It's definitely not. This is a whole other building.
And so I don't have an answer for that. But what I also don't have an answer for is how uncomfortable you would be. Like if my dad opened a business and was like, this is a mural of my blind son. Look at him.
my favorite blind kiddo right here.
He's being blind in this picture, as you can tell. His phone's real close to his face. I'm being blind.
Do you see him behind the wheel of an automobile? Definitely not. That's never where he is.
It's me in the passenger seat.
He's always in the passenger
driver's seat. Yeah.
I was listening to the Drew Lane show, and of course we cover Woke Dad on that show, and they have this thing called the boner line. People leave voicemails, and one of the voicemails somebody left was, I never want to hear anyone I don't ever want to hear an adult call anyone a kiddo.
Yeah.
He always uses that word kiddo, and it's creepy.
It is.
It's not good.
It's just said weird. Like if you hear him say, I am coming around on that, where it's like,
I know.
There's
Me
some
too.
stuff he says that is just creepy.
Me too. And I never wanted to think that about him. I'm just he means well. He's just like this weird woke liberal guy. But it's starting to seem like, and I think I put this in my recent post that I put up a segment of his. It seems like he's hiding in plain sight a little bit. He keeps talking about safe spaces and vulnerable communities. I'm like, wait, why is this place? Why are they not in safe places now? And why are they vulnerable?
Making sure kids come there is like,
all of it's very weird. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Let's get back to the video.
And that's going to go all the way around the cafe. It's all going to be muraled, so it'll be really stunning. So I needed supplies. The woman behind the cash register was talking with the woman in front of her, and I overheard their conversation, and I got involved in this conversation because apparently last night while she was working, bent over restocking the shelves, she got groped by a man.
My God.
Immediately, I was disgusted. Immediately, I was disgusted.
Good for
But
you.
then as she started to describe this guy, it came off pretty racist, like extremely racist. And I'm not going to get into details, but let's just say she
Why
said,
not?
you know, all those people look alike.
Wait, it was an Asian? An Asian group? This one I wasn't expecting that.
Oh, you've
That's a
given it
twist.
away, Daniel.
Now we know exactly who it was.
I mean, come on. First of all, I'm not going to get into details, but here's a detail.
Yep.
Like
She
you're
shows-
saying that she said that, so that's a detail, right?
Yep, they all look alike. Let me just explain that to you.
So,
Right.
just keep playing.
Oh, yeah, I'll give.
And again, I was immediately disgusted. Initially, I was immediately disgusted at him. For that comment, I was immediately disgusted at her. Like, it was just wrong. So two things can be true at the same time. You don't have to side with anyone.
I like this. Dan's like, I hate this woman got groped, but she's a racist, so...
She was asking for it.
Yeah. I'm not that upset anymore.
But this is the moral of this story that Daniel has come up with is not correct. There is one man you can side with. The hero that was there to witness all of this.
Mm-hmm.
He is the one that's in the right. Thank God.
Thank God for that.
This tree did not fall in the forest with no one there.
Right.
You can both be disgusted by racism and misogyny, even if it's two people who are in a conflict together. You don't need to side with either. They're both awful. End of story.
All right, so I made a joke he was talking about an Asian person, but I think he's talking about a black person, and the woman gets groped, and her reaction is, I don't know who it was. They all look the same to me. That's not the most racist thing you could say after getting groped by a man, right?
I'll weigh in on this. I will rate them. I will say if you sexually assault a woman in public, and she stereotypes you,
yes,
he is the worst person.
Correct. Physical contact,
yeah,
way worse than words you use after the fact. Way
I know,
worse.
Daniel. I think go ahead, rate them. I think
Yeah,
you're
we can
all right.
rate. We can rate this one. He was saying rate with a T, by the way,
Yes,
in case
yes,
you missed
rate.
that.
Sorry.
So this is again from his Facebook page, and the Great Start Coffee Cart sneak peek of the work we're doing to make our community a brighter place. And from what I hear, this is at the hockey arena, and what he's doing here, this mural he calls it, is just this wacky. It's almost 70s-esque, where it's tons of shapes and things with all different colors.
Abstract.
Yeah, it's very abstract. Lots of different just colors and color schemes. And I've been to a lot of hockey games in my life. I'm a big hockey fan. I don't know this is what I would expect if I was at the hockey arena.
Why is there a Jackson Pollock up on the wall here?
Yeah. I mean, it could be psychedelic. It could be like a thing where you like that. It could obviously be a pride thing. It looks kind of pridey.
But I thought his kid was in the mural.
Not yet. It wraps all the way around, Mike. We'll get there. Relax.
So at this hockey arena, there's going to be a mural of just some guy's kid
in the cafeteria
that doesn't play hockey.
Specifically in the cafeteria. Well, it's a trans kid, Mike. Don't you understand how important
No,
that
that's
is
great. That's
for the
heroic.
community?
I get it. But I guess
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
saying, like, what's the significance? Like, oh, this kid ate here once, or what's the?
What if this kid detransitioned at one point? Would they just paint over it?
It would be like Joe Paterno's statue.
Joe Pa's no longer welcome here. That's hilarious. That's what I'm wondering. Like they're just paint rollers, just rubbing. We can't have this here anymore.
Goodbye.
It's like what they did to Don Cherry up in Canada. They're like, he said a thing. All right, you're done.
It's a shame when they
voice
wipe out
of-
a legacy.
The
like
voice
that.
of hockey for decades. All right. Here's another video. And Mike, you went back in the archives for this because, like you said, you only had that one new video.
Yeah, sad.
So let's hear about Black history.
I just had a conversation with a young black woman, and it was...
You don't say. What percentage of his videos start like that?
I gotta say, it's rare though that the black person is a moron in Daniel's videos.
Oh,
This
well,
is
yeah.
It's a somewhat different take.
This is going in a different direction. That's a good point.
really evident that she doesn't know a lot about black history, and it all got prompted by this.
Okay. So he goes, I just had a conversation with this black woman who's a fucking moron, doesn't understand black history like I do.
If any, Dan would, I know Daniel well enough now
Okay.
to know could easily be watching what they call on TikTok a duet, where there's some guy saying this, like a video starts with, I had a conversation with a young black woman, and it turns out she doesn't know very much about history. And Danny would be making the face of like, like he's just disgusted by what the person is saying.
Well, let's see what happened.
So this is the governor of the state of New York, Kathy Hochul. And right behind her, that's Al Sharpton. I know you can't tell from that photo, but I was only a few feet away when that actually happened.
Like
that was Kathy Hochul.
Yeah. And I invented the shit happens shirt.
Hochul signing a bill into law that protects transgender individuals in the state of New York. And I've been excited about this for days, but what happened right before that event was Al Sharpton bumped into me in the crowd.
What? God. Holy shit, this man's been brushed with greatness. Al Sharpton bumped into him in the crowd?
He hasn't bathed since.
I was shocked and surprised. And because of that, excited, I shared with a few people.
Why?
Wait, what was he shocked and surprised about? Getting bumped into?
That Al Sharpton doesn't watch where the fuck he's going?
What the fuck? What a weird flex this is, but okay.
She didn't know who Al Sharpton was, though. Not only that, but she didn't.
Wait, she's not watching MSNBC?
Can you imagine this black bitch doesn't know who Al Sharpton is? The nerve. By the way, she's probably at an age where she shouldn't know who Al Sharpton is.
Well,
Is it a young black girl?
He did say that. Also, Al Sharpton's not a great guy, but whatever.
Right, I mean, there's so much where it's like, who gives a fuck if she doesn't know Al Sharpton?
No, that's black history. A man who at this time, because this is going back to 2023, I think was still on television on MSNBC at his own show. It's like, you don't know
didn't
black
understand
history?
who a lot of figures.
It's like, that's not black history.
Oh,
That's a
if
guy
this
who-
girl was like, if he was like, hey, today's Martin Luther King Day, and she was like, who?
Right. Yeah.
I'll grant
yeah.
him a little arrogance.
If she was like, yeah, Malcolm Y was a great guy, they're like, oh, you idiot. No. It's not it at all. Like that. Then it would make a little bit of sense. But if you don't know who Jesse Jackson is or
It's fine.
Al Sharpton, it's fine. It's not black
Especially if
history.
you're a young girl.
Yeah. These are leeches on society, but that's just my opinion.
Not only that, but she didn't understand who a lot of figures in black history were.
What did you start?
Quiz her?
Yeah, right. Did you start drilling her on this? Well, who else don't you know? Do you know who invented the peanuts? She's like, I don't think peanuts were invented.
Maya
but-
Angelou. Go. Just throwing names at her.
Yeah, he was. And by the way, George Washington Carver was at one life path. Just FYI, tying it all together.
So I thought to myself, this is a real opportunity for me to help her learn and grow a little bit. But guess what?
Oh, what a douche!
We aren't teaching our kids enough about actual history. Everybody's so worried about CRT that they're forgetting that black history is not critical race theory. Black history is white history. Black history is queer history. Black history is women's history. All of these things are intertwined in intersectionality. Marsha P. Johnson was a black transgender woman. She fought for queer rights in our country. Civil rights and human rights are all intertwined. The rights.
This is a rare video where he's editing it. Did you notice that? Usually he's able to go straight through, but this one is there's cuts in there. Yeah,
that's a good point.
He's looking this shit up. He's like on his phone, just like, all right, what was that queer trans black chick again? Oh yeah, okay, I got it.
Imagine walking into a college course and it's like, all right, today in Black history, we're learning about Harvey Milk.
Right, yeah. You're like, no, that's not it. Nah, you don't get it yet. You'll figure it out. We'll get there.
It's all the same.
Of the common man are all intertwined, and we need to understand our own history, so we're not doomed to repeat our past.
Powerful stuff.
Powerful stuff.
So by his account, this is just a stranger, right? Did I miss something? Just some girl bumped into him?
Yep.
And was like, hey, you doing any black stuff lately? And he's like, well, I met Al Sharpton. She's like, who?
He didn't even meet Al Sharpton. He bumped into her. By her.
He was near Al Sharpton.
Yeah. He was nearby while Al Sharpton was there, which, by the way.
That is so... Like,
look up the Tawana Brawley case. A woman who pretended that she was raped by white men, and Al Sharpton was all over it. She was a liar. And like a Freddy's Fashion Mart fire that 8 people died in. That Al Sharpton had a lot to do with. Anyway, you were saying?
Well, his time was well spent with Imus, I always found. That was a,
Yes.
a worthy cause. He really got one.
Al Sharpton is a garbage human, but whatever. He's black, so we all love him. He's amazing.
But
Fair enough.
even if you worshipped him for some reason, if he was your guy, your celebrity, just to be like, he bumped into me, and I felt the need to tell a lot of people. Like
you're black. Guess who bumped into me 3 days ago?
Going up to blacks. I met Paul Pierce when I was a kid. I don't seek out black people to tell that to.
Would you find people who are over 6'5" and tell them? Like, what's the
that makes sense.
similarity?
I didn't think of it that way.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, why is it always skin color?
Right.
Like, why could it be other athletes that you would talk to and be like, holy shit, you play professional baseball? I know Paul Pierce. Like that.
And I'll tell you, even if I met another athlete, if I met some professional baseball player and was like, hey, I met Paul Pierce, they'd be like, who gives a shit? Leave me alone.
But you know what I mean, though? That makes more sense to me than skin color.
Of course.
This is the thing that Dana Alexander and I don't understand what his point is on this. He looks at everyone as just like all black people, all Hispanic people, all queer people, all this. It's just like, yeah, there's other things that people have in common and similarities. Like, I'm not blind, and yet Mike and I talk every week.
I know.
How is that possible?
It is weird, yeah.
Go figure. Well, I guess we are white guys. We are cisgender.
We do have a game around it, too. So
yeah, that's true. That's a good point. All right. You call this one Bizarre Flex.
So what we've seen with Daniel's, dare I say, transition over time.
Yeah.
Like early on, remember, I think we played some clips at the live show maybe, and I know me and Craig played one a couple weeks ago. There are videos where it's all about like building his following.
Right.
Before his TikTok was Woke Dad, it was just like comedy, I guess. And he was like, hey, I need more followers. Come on, guy. Dudes my age. Why aren't you following me? It was all about getting his follower count up.
Yeah, the best one was dating in your 30s during COVID.
Yeah.
A video we played, yeah.
So this is him talking numbers while becoming Woke Dad. It's a very interesting combination. Like old Daniel is passing the torch to new Daniel in this video.
Oh, is this Woke Origins or is this the other one?
No, this is the numbers.
This is Bizarre Flex.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd like to take a minute to talk about male privilege. A handful of days ago, I posted this video. It's got 409,000 views. I want you to remember that number. And take a look at the engagement. 30,000 likes, 1,000 comments, 2,300 favorites,
Pretty
whole bunch of
awesome.
shares down there.
Nice.
It's not really the greatest engagement, but it's got a lot of views.
Sure.
Now keep in mind that I duetted somebody's video and I didn't add a lot to their video. It was mostly their content.
Whoa, does Ethan Klein know about this?
I know. Was it transformative, Daniel?
You just posted someone else's video, put it on your channel? Okay.
With just me making some facial expressions. And there's the original video. That was the original creator. They only had 279.9 thousand views, almost 100,000 less views than me. And it's important to point out her engagement, way better than any engagement on my video.
So what do you think happened, Dan?
He's just dunking on this bitch.
I grabbed your stuff, and people like it from me better than they like it from you.
God, I'm so sorry about this. I'm
right.
just so much more popular.
So people playing along at home, let's guess what Dan...
Even I didn't imagine it.
I couldn't either. I had no idea it was going in this direction. Let's find out.
Way more everything. Male privilege affects every part of our society. Now, me personally, I'm using my privilege to amplify the voice of those who don't have the same level of privilege. What you do with yours, that's up to you.
He is trying to tell me, Carl, from Who Are These Socials, that women have a disadvantage on social media.
Yeah, definitely.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Why?
Because
I don't get more views than like Trisha Paytas.
I mean, Trisha Paytas is a perfect example. She's not even a hot chick. Do you know what attractive girls do on social media? I mean, it's not even close to anything I could possibly accomplish.
One.
I was just reviewing Call Her Daddy.
Yeah.
On WATP this week. Yeah, Alex Cooper is, I don't know, has hundreds of millions of dollars.
I think now, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she got a multi-million-dollar deal from Barstool and then Spotify and then Sirius, and she hasn't have a fucking braid in her head. She's just a dumb blonde who used to be a redhead who takes loads on her face. And she pretends to be a serious talk show host. She was a correspondent for the NBC Olympic coverage.
But Joe Rogan does make more money.
Actually, I'm not even sure that's true, but I hear what you're saying. This is retarded. I can't believe for a second that he really thinks that he has an advantage over women on social
insane.
media. It's a
and then, by the way, it's not just like he has a bigger account than it's like that's why I called it a bizarre flex. Is like all he's doing is going like, oh man, I have so many more views than her.
Yeah,
it's crazy how many more
crazy.
people like me than her, and it's male privilege. Oh, I hate it, but like I have so many more views.
It's funny. All right, this video's crazy. I don't know how you found this, but this is his woke origins.
Yeah,
I think we're going back to 2023.
Yeah,
so a couple of years ago, and before we ever saw this, Mike found this guy and called him woke dad. That was because he had the trans kiddo, and he goes, this guy's so woke. He's the woke dad.
Yes.
And you nailed it.
Little did I know. Yeah.
Somebody that I grew up with called me woke. And in that moment, I took a deep breath, not out of hate, but out of frustration. And I said, do you remember?
I like that he takes that as an insult. He's like the wokest guy I've ever seen ever. Oh, Dan,
It's
what do you want?
It's like Spider-Man. He was bit by like a blue-haired lesbian or something.
Yeah, right.
All of a sudden, my powers took over.
Can you imagine someone called me? This is like in Three Amigos, where the henchmen are like, they called us scum-sucking pigs. Us! And El Guape is like, yeah, well, I don't know what to tell you, man.
Me? Woke?
Woke? Can you imagine?
It's crazy.
And I said, do you remember when I was a kid and I got sent to my dad's house because that extremist hate group was marching through town, flying their flags?
Yeah, I remember.
Where did he grow up? Did he grow up in the Jim Crow South? There was an extremist hate group marching through the town.
1962, yeah.
Yeah, this is where he grew up, because I remember telling stories about being in Syracuse in the 80s, but now all of a sudden there's an extremist hate group with flags marching through town to kill everyone.
I love the Law and Order sitcom dialogue that he speaks in, where he's like, hey, longtime friend, do you remember growing up as a boy when the extremist hate group walked through our town? Why, of course I do, Daniel. No need to explain it to me.
Coming with firearms. Do you remember that? I got sent to my dad's house because everybody was afraid. Because there was real fear in the air. Because these were extremists and they didn't have good intentions. Do you remember that? And that same person said, yeah, of course, that was crazy.
Wait. What? Extremist what?
He has to be explaining the KKK.
Well, okay. That can't be right.
That can't be.
The KKK came through in the 80s or 90s, mind you, but they came through and were searching for white boys to snatch up?
Either way, this didn't happen.
Get this white man out of town.
I live less than 100 miles from this guy. We might be the same. We might be the same age. I might be older. This didn't happen.
You survived this.
No. This didn't happen, Mike. The KKK was not coming through towns with firearms and flags and ready to round up.
Extremist group. But why was let's say it did happen. Why was Daniel in danger?
No, it didn't. No, Mike, you're missing the point. It didn't happen.
But I know. But I'm saying even so.
Maybe because he's a queer. I don't know. But that's not the point.
What would they want with him?
I don't know.
You vote the same way that they do. And in that moment, you could hear the panic in their voice. I'm not like them. I don't share the same.
So he tells his buddy who called him woke, remember when the KKK came to town? He's like, yeah, that was horrible. He's like,
sure, we all remember.
He's like, they vote for Republicans, which, by the way, the KKK all voted for Democrats. I don't want to get into it. It's not the point. Anyway, so he's going with the guilty by association thing. And I don't know if Dan remembers this, but it was just like a couple of years ago that Antifa burnt down Portland. Anyway, whatever. Yeah. Neither here nor there.
It is, though, because I was going to say, does Daniel look at the extremists that voted for Biden and say, like, well, we can't associate with these people?
Right. It happens all the time. Yeah. There's extremists on both sides that do horrific things. And, oh, fuck, I just lost the feed to Dan. Good thing that we're vamping right now.
Oh, no. It is... I'm surprised you're not more fixated on the idea that they would want nothing to do with Daniel.
I know, Mike. All of this is retarded. All right, I'll be back.
I know it's made up, but make something better up.
I'll back it up a little bit. This is fun.
And in that moment, you could hear the panic in their voice. I'm not like them. I don't share the same ideas as them. And I said, no, you do. Panic. You share the exact same ideas as them. You may not share all of the same ideas.
Well, hold on a second. You just said that you share the exact same ideas. And then he goes, probably not all of the ideas. Well, isn't that what the word exact means?
He goes, I can hear the panic setting in. Imagine talking with a friend from high school.
Yeah.
And them going, who did you vote for? And you go, I don't want to talk about it.
Trump. What a fucking idiot. He's always getting over on everyone. He wins every fucking conversation, this guy.
I know.
It really is impressive how he's able to do that.
Mm-hmm. Did you guys see me win that conversation?
But you vote for the same people. You vote for the people who you think suit your best interests.
There's two fucking choices in this country. I can't. There's a lot of Europeans and Australians and Canadians who watch this, and they might not understand this. Just like, you vote for the same person as this guy. It's like, yeah, we literally have two choices. By the way, I've never voted for a president who won. I usually vote for a libertarian candidate. It's a waste of time. I try.
It wouldn't be if all the goddamn people that pretend they're independent voted third party. But no.
Yes, right. America Party, right? Who's with me?
I'm in.
But they also vote for the people who think suit their best interests. What does that say about your values?
Ugh, what an asshole.
The conversation ended pretty quickly, but I think I got my point across.
He's
on one again.
He's so blinded by his ideology. He doesn't realize that he's talking about himself right there completely. Mike, I have a rare treat for us. Sharon Peters, who puts together some fantastic videos about Woke Dad, put together one that's amazing. It's one of my favorites. But first, I want to acknowledge the people who are here watching and interrupting this show.
Yay, super chats.
Over at superchat.gg/WTP, Nancram coming in.
Two things can be true at the same time. I used to love Blind Mike. I still do. But I used to too.
Oh, that's nice.
I appreciate all of that.
It's very sweet. Anonymous.
That racist woman was wrong. Not all gropers look alike. And they don't feel alike either. Some gropers are girthier than others. Speaking from my experience after visiting my local YMCA.
So
maybe that's what she meant.
So we're not talking about Asians, it turns out. Okay, fair enough. Drunk engineer coming in. Says, I bet most black people would love for Dan to approach them and explain the importance of black history to them. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
I know that didn't happen, thank God, but could you imagine if he's just like, do you know who this person is? She's like, I don't know, Al Sharpton.
Talking down to some young black girl.
You don't know who Al Sharpton is? Like, yeah, I don't know, man.
He's a great man.
All right, if you say so.
I brushed against him once.
Purple Possum coming in.
I walked next to Pudge Rodriguez after WrestleMania in Detroit for a solid 5 minutes. It was great to be in the bigs.
See, there you go.
That's the perfect name to have pulled, too.
Pudge Rodriguez.
Great to be in the bigs.
Hamilton Burger. See, Carl? Woke Dad isn't boring us with details. Yeah, that's true. I can't believe how much shit I'm getting for this. This was before we started WATP. I was explaining my travel back to Rochester from Cape Coral. It was not great. Apparently, I gave too many details.
Well, hey.
Adam Bush agrees. The Adam Drunkwitch file says, I am loving the Woke Dad, Opie, etc. content. Thank God Starring Fuckface left the Dabbleverse. You did not need him after all. Well, thank you, Adam Drunkwitch.
Seems that way.
I agree.
Found other things.
I agree with you on that. Hamilton Burger, Woke Dad was at Sharpton's Race Hustler Masterclass. Yes, he was. Norwell Bell, what a soft performative Mary this guy is. I want to give him an Indian sunburn. Well, there's no violence here. No, we don't care for violence.
No, of course.
Rocco Orby, 2002, $5. Imagine if Woke Dad talked to some oppressed Palestinian, or the Palestinian expresses his desire to see if fairies can fly from buildings. Okay, well.
It's weird. He hasn't got into that one too much.
Yeah, you're right. He's not taking sides.
Yeah, that is weird.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty good point. I don't take sides either, but he seems to have a lot of more opinions than I do.
Yeah.
All right. So this is Sharon Peters put this together, and I'm just going to let it play because it really does show who Dan Alexander is. Daniel Alexander, woke dad, _shoe_fits on TikTok. It's everything we've been saying forever. And it's the reason why we're glued to this man, why Mike discovered him in the first place, why he goes over huge at live shows when we play it in Boston and Detroit. This is all you need to know about this asshole.
The Communal Narcissist's 10 Commandments. My generosity is a measure of my greatness.
Quite frankly, I just didn't want anybody to think I was virtue signaling because this is a pure act of kindness for me. But I always stop on the side of the road to help somebody who has a flat tire.
Public acknowledgement of my good deeds is essential for their value.
I'm the man responsible for getting the bill in New York State that protects gender-affirming care to pass in a law.
I am the pillar of any community. Without me, it completely falters.
Well, if you think I've inspired kindness here on the internet, as it turns out, I've inspired kindness here within my local community.
My contributions to others are completely unmatched and should be universally recognized.
But I am known for serving up a healthy dose of kindness.
Showing empathy, it is a tool for gaining trust and admiration, not an end in itself.
She didn't feel the same empathy that I did. I was amazingly upset, and she could care less about this.
The more people depend on me, the more powerful I become.
I don't just support women's rights. I don't just support LGBTQ rights. I support BIPOC community members.
My ideas and ways of helping, they are superior to others. Dissent is envy.
The other day, somebody came up to me and said, I really love all of the work you're doing in our community, all of the fundraising, all of the support that you're sharing with community members, all of the rallying that you're doing to get the community to come together around good causes and really help to do things.
The visibility of my charitable acts is more important than the acts themselves.
I grabbed some water and I grabbed some snacks. I chased him down. He was so appreciative just to have somebody care for him. It's 95 degrees out today.
I will remind others of my altruism to ensure my efforts are never forgotten.
The reason that they were still here was because I gave them enough hope. I helped to save a life. From that moment, I knew that I was here for a different reason. They were going to take their life. And because of the kindness of a complete stranger and the kindness that I had shared and showed them, they decided they were going to give this world another chance.
I don't know if I've ever heard that one.
I know this gets wild on this one. It's funny. Oh, he's reading a comment that says, every day someone who is thinking about giving up comes to your page and sees something on your page that changes their mind.
Wow.
And he's teared up reacting to this.
That's why I'm here. That's why I'm here. Now.
Okay, this one's great. He's showing the number 487 on the screen. Listen to what he says about this.
This number's a little outdated because I stopped tracking it about a year ago. That number represents the number of people that have shared with me that I helped them through a mental health crisis.
Now it just says millions sold.
Yes, right.
Leaving this place that day, and I helped to give them enough hope to make.
He just said 487 is the number of people who said that they were going to off themselves until they saw a Dan Alexander video. And then they went, wait a second, maybe I should give it another go.
One person that's going to kill themselves? Two people that are going to kill themselves?
That they were thinking of leaving this place that day, and I helped to give them enough hope to make it through another day.
My identity and self-worth are defined by being seen as a benefactor.
Sometimes the reason good things are not happening to you is because you are the good thing that needs to happen to other people.
Fucking incredible. Slow clap, Sharon Peters.
I was going to say massive credit for putting that together, although I was kind of realizing it's probably not that difficult to find all those videos.
No, I mean,
he does it every day, but still.
I love that they piece that together with the 10 elements of being a narcissist.
No, I'm kidding, obviously. Perfectly.
And being able to find the exact example on everything. I mean, this guy is out of control. And he'll never get better. That's the one thing I've learned from doing WATP. And it took years getting into WATP before I realized that narcissists cannot be fixed. Like Aaron Imholt and Stuttering John Melendez and Opie and this guy.
Anyone's capable of having moments.
Of course.
And then when they get called out, you're like, oh shit, I am doing that. You're right.
Yep.
Sorry.
Yes.
But these guys, they just don't have that ability to snap out. And Sharon Peters, if there's more to that 487 video, please send it to me because I can't get it out of my head.
That one is wild. This number, I mean, I stopped counting a year ago, but I've saved 487 lives at this point. Wow.
I mean, that's way more for a year. That's way more than one a day.
Horse's ass. Adam Davies with £5 says, tune into Hackrise channel after the stream for unboxing Carl's dad with Casey Day and DJ Electra.
That
Too
is
soon.
what they're doing, actually. Yeah,
it's too soon, sir.
It's
But yes, we will be pushing the audience over to Hackride's channel, with Casey Day and DJ Electra. Howard Stern fans will enjoy that very much. I do want to play some voicemails that we received, and then we'll get out of here.
Hey, this is for WATS. I was just listening to the latest episode and Dan Alexander, and it just really started gnawing at me, so I had to call and ask the voicemail. What safe space? Safe space from what? It's like there's bands of roving marauders out there, like, oh, there better not be any children from endangered communities of LGBTQIAs doing art out here in public. Like it's like this like safe haven that you've got to escape to use these donated kilns in safety. I would just love for somebody to ask him. I'm not installing TikTok, so there's no way I can do it. Dan, safe from what? Just tell me. Love you guys. Love the show.
Well, because kids now are growing up in a generation where it is like much more acceptable to be gay than it was at any other time in history. So now, but they do have like one bugaboo now. These kids, they're like, be gay, be as gay as you want. Just don't fucking paint and be gay. Like that's our big thing.
Oh, you're an artist?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, now you got to get pummeled. Now we're upset with you.
We hate those.
That whole thing that Dan is like really built his whole effort around this term safe space. Safe space, I remember, was a big thing in 2016. I think it's 2015. It's part of the reason why Trump got elected the first time. Like that was a big thing around college campuses, and there were cry rooms and things. And everyone went, well, this is stupid. We got to stop this. And I don't hear the word safe space outside of Dan Alexander's TikTok anymore.
It's like if in like 1990 you were like, you know what? We got to desegregate schools.
Yeah.
Like, no, we figured that one out. We handled it.
We're done with that. We got it. This one coming in late on Super Tip over here.
You are most welcome to bring your kiddos to my art studio. I will spread kindness and joy all over their faces.
Oh, jeez, Dan. God damn it. We're trying to get your back on this and have the benefit of the doubt, but
face paint or something, I'm sure.
It's tough. Face paint? You mean finger paint?
He's painting their faces.
All right, I hear what you're saying. Another voicemail coming in.
Yeah, this is for who are these socials? So I am a construction worker, and I just wanted to point out that the only time in the last 10 years of me doing construction that I've ever had to buy a new tape is because I used it so much that the spring fucking broke.
Right.
Okay? Who's losing their fucking tape measures that much?
Yes.
Also, just wanted to give some love to Blind Mike. I just went back and watched the entire catalog of Why Are You Laughing? And I love the show. Did want to make you cringe, though. The fucking first comedy album I've ever heard that made me get into comedy was Bill Engvall, Here's Your Sign. Have a good day, guys.
You're forgiven, sir. It happens.
Oh, well, you said such nice things that I'll forgive you, but I do hate Bill Engvall.
It happens to the best of them. Yeah, I understand. You're a young kid. You don't know any better.
Very nice of him to say. Thank you, sir. And it sounds like this guy's straight as an arrow because he never loses his measuring tape.
Oh, dude, the tape measure thing was so enraging because no one uses tape measure that's a bracelet.
I'm one of those guys. I'm that intersection of straight and losing my tape measure.
It was the dumbest thing ever because you don't need a tape measure that's 18 inches long. Like tape measure is so that you could like pop it on the corner and wheel it across the room and figure out how far that window is from this window. Like there's a reason for tape measure. It's not what he was talking about. Right. I miss old Howard Stern, $5. If I didn't know any better, I'd think that Daniel Alexander Sesame Street socks aren't about a silent protest, but about getting the attention of kiddos.
Well, I don't know.
Wow.
I know Craig has a pair, but
That's a pretty hot take. I miss old Howard Stern. That makes a lot of sense. Why are you buying Oscar the Grouch socks? None of your business. I mean,
it's a protest.
NPR.
It's a political statement.
Raising money.
It's a very adult reason.
Zach Collins says 478 saved, 479 kids tossed in the kiln. I hope not.
What a crazy number. Like, oh yeah, I've saved 478 lives. I mean, like, and then I stopped counting. So
And then I stopped counting. So it's probably way more than that. And you can speculate if you want. That's another thing that all these idiots do, where they just like, they throw out a thing they've done and they're like, but who's even counting? I mean, it's probably even more than that. It's similar to when Opie goes, if you even know what Sam Roberts did, I'll never tell you, but it's heinous. You're like,
imagine.
Yeah. So I have to think of the craziest things a person could do. And that's
kill somebody. Or?
I'm supposed to think of that in my own head. Rocco Orby, 2002, $5. Woke Dad might be losing his measuring tape at Walmart's men's bathroom.
Is my tape in here? He gets dragged out of those, don't forget.
That's true. So I could see why he would lose it.
Yeah.
Falls right out of his pocket. He can't get back in.
True.
Here's a couple more voicemails from the same guy.
This for WATS. Hey, first time.
Did I say same guy? I'm sorry. This is a woman.
This is a woman. Is he 11?
I think this is a woman calling. Well, I don't know if you go back this far, but when we first met Vic, who was our first review girl,
yes.
I was confused whether Vic was a young boy or a woman. It turned out to be one of those.
Okay.
Jury's out.
This for WATS. Hey, first time, long time. There's these people called financial auditors, and they harass they film people at post offices, and they provoke people, and they try to get arrested. They're called financial auditors. You can find them on YouTube. Maybe if you wanted to check it out. That's all. Bye.
Well, it's funny you asked that because this person called back in again.
Oh.
You know what? I'm sorry. I'm a dumb bitch. It's not financial auditors.
Okay.
It's First Amendment auditors.
Yes.
You can go on YouTube and find that. Sorry. I'm a woman. Bye.
All right.
You're a dumb bitch again. You don't know Chile de Castro? What's the matter with you?
Financial auditors.
No, thank
Close enough. We appreciate the call. Thank you for calling in. Thanks for listening to the show.
Yes.
And I want to thank everyone for going to a little website known as blindmike.net.
Thank you. Yes. No show this Sunday. No Blind Mike Project this Sunday. I'll be away. If crazy things happen, maybe we'll go live on Monday or something. But I did do multiple shows this week. We did a really long. I thought we were going to pop on and do like an hour and a half of Steel Toe, and it ended up being 3.5 hours.
I loved it.
There's
I
that
loved
for you.
it.
Oh, thank you. There's that for you, and there's also the Ethan Klein stuff that me and Kaylee from Once Over with Kaylee did a deep dive on, where you may know her as Lucy Tightbox around these parts. So go check that out as well. All that's on my channel. You can subscribe, become a member on Patreon or YouTube to get early access and bonus content. And I appreciate you guys.
And I will tell you that Mike is off on Sunday. Not me. I was going to do a bonus show on Tuesday, but Southwest screwed me over.
I heard about this.
So instead...
Hold on, guys. It's a good story. Go ahead. Tell them.
I was prepping a show. I was all ready to get back, and we're going to be back in plenty of time to get producer Chris over and do a bonus show. And anyway, didn't make it home in time. So instead, we're going to do our bonus show on Sunday. So if you sign up for our Patreon, patreon.com/whoarethespodcasts, if you're a member on this YouTube channel, then you'll be able to watch live or anytime thereafter another edition of Living in the Past with Stuttering John, which is us going back to Stuttering John in 2018 when he was doing his podcast before the Dabbleverse. But I also discovered this interview we did with Joe Coy on the Koi Pond. And this is going back to 2017.
I heard you covering that at some point. Yeah.
Yes. So I already pulled my clips for that. We had the first 15 minutes on the last episode, another 15 minutes on this next episode, and it's wild. I love John before the Dabbleverse because he's a different guy back then. He felt he was feeling himself. He thought he was a big star and he was going places. It's fun.
It's also fun. It's interesting because say what you want about John, like there were a lot of similarities to now, but like he was on Adam Carolla's show, Joe Coy, and even Joe Coy wasn't as big then as he is now, but he was on these shows. He could have been in that circle, which what we've seen happen in comedy in that time, the last 10 years or whatever. those are all the guys that got big, and all their podcasts got other people. If John went on Legion of Skanks, which is not crazy because he was on Anthony Cumia's show. So if he understood what podcasting was and started doing all these shows, he would have been in that world.
Well, I disagree.
I mean, yeah,
you have to be a good guest.
There's a lot of other factors, but I just mean
he was a terrible guest.
He had a foot in the door, is all I'm saying.
Correct. If he had any talent at all, he's come from the Howard Stern show and the Tonight Show. He had all these connections, and I love to go back and look at how he squandered all of it. So we'll be talking about that. So if you sign up for Who Are These Podcasts, go to whoarethese.com, get all the links. We have live shows coming up. We're playing in the Catskills at Chrissy Mayer's Content House with the great Anthony Cumia. Adam Bush will be there, producer Chris, myself, Chrissy Mayer, Missy B, Jenny Jingles. We'll all be there at the Content Hotel. We're doing a live show in a theater. I was listening to Tukey Soupy. He's very confused about all this. It's not streaming. You have to come to the show. It's a live show that's at this resort, and it's a lot of fun. It's a great resort. Don't listen to Tukey. It's a really nice place. It's all been vetted. It's going to be great.
And I can now say it actually is a fun time. I used to nod my head and think it's probably not that great, but now I've been, so I can say it's a good time. Make sure you go.
Mike, I don't know what the Minahan shows are. They're probably bigger and better.
Sure.
But I thought our show in Boston was really spectacular.
It was very fun.
Yeah, the audience was aside from the 2 hours that we spent before the show in the green room together, we're all just like twiddling our thumbs. But once the show started, it was great.
Yeah. No, it definitely was. It's definitely worth going. And I say the same about Detroit. Make sure you go if you can.
Yeah, we will be in Detroit. It's tickets available at themagic.bag.com. There's a link on our homepage, whoarethese.com. And there's a link for the other show, Chrissy Mayer's show, WTP Live with Anthony Cumia, also WTPLive.com is where you can go for that. All right, that's enough plugs. Let's get out of here.
Have the day you deserve, everybody.
Anyway, social media, I'll catch you later, man.
Who are these socials?
That's what this audience wants to hear. Like, whoa!
Who are these socials?
I'm the one who should apologize.
Folks, what you are about to see is real.
With Carl.
Okay, we got it.
And Blind Mike.
Who's going to follow that?
WATS.